The channel just hit 1 billion views, which means I'm one step closer to being the biggest name in this entire corporeal dimension we exist in. I am now extremely close to getting my name in the history books alongside the universe's greats such as Jesus Christ and the Big Bang, which created the universe, and Brendan Fraser. I'm almost there now, thanks to all of you. In all seriousness, I've never really been one to make like X milestone special, X subscriber special, because, all the other YouTubers do it, and sometimes it's super cute and wholesome, but the majority of the time it's just the same shit parroted over and over again through someone else's mouth. Hey, didn't expect to get here, but we got here. Thanks, guys. It's all thanks to you guys. Yeehaw! And then they fucking peel out of their driveway in the Ferrari, fucking scooting sideways and drifting. I just feel like those subscriber specials are pretty insincere most of the time and just kind of unnecessary. And I wasn't going to make this video about the billion view thing, but I keep getting really nice and positive emails about it and asking me if I'm going to talk about it or what I'm doing for it, like if I was throwing it like a fucking Sweet 16 or something. And I've had no plans to do that. Not that I think it's bad when people do the subscriber special things, because like I said, sometimes there are genuine, wholesome people with really, powerful things to say. But I've done, like the million subscriber thing I did in 2014 or the 10-year anniversary thing. I made those videos because back in those times, I was really closed off from all of you. I didn't want anyone to know anything about me. So I wanted to make sure you guys all knew that kind of support really meant the world to me. And now that I am more open with all of you and pretty much nothing about me is a secret, I mean, for God's sakes, I casually mentioned my penis length at a nice crisp 6.5 inches of steel glory and bravery. Now that all of this is out there and you all really get to know me, it feels a bit weird if I just keep telling you thank you when I've already said it and you already know that I appreciate all the support. And number milestones have really never been something that's important to me in the first place, which you all also already know. That being said, getting asked a lot of times if I'm doing anything special for 1 billion, I thought I would have to try and at least do something to celebrate in some way, because 1 billion really is a big deal. I was debating doing like a full pro Jared and just releasing my dick pics on Twitter, but I thought that probably wouldn't go over well. I thought of maybe pulling like a classic Twitch streamer and breaking up with my girlfriend on my Twitch streams at twitch.tv/moistcritikal, but I thought she probably wouldn't appreciate that. So then I kind of decided on what I will be doing to celebrate 1 billion, which is giving you my Fleshlight tier list. I'm not going to put it on like a standard tier list or anything like that. I'm just going to break them out of the closet and show you which ones I think are S tier and which ones I think kind of fall in the middle of the pack. There's really no bad Fleshlights, because at the end of the day, you're fucking something, and I guess that's a win in someone's book somewhere out there. So I'm just going to go ahead and break these bad boys out and we'll put them on a scale. So I've got the Fleshlights here in a nice little bouquet of flowers, so we'll just go down the list here. This one I think is one of the weaker ones. I put this at like a C. It's a really small Fleshlight, so it feels like it's a rushed job, and it's a bit weird. I bet I haven't fucked any of these, full disclosure, believe it or not, but when I play with them like this one just doesn't have the same range as all the other ones, and that really just disappoints me. So if you're using this as a weapon, you're not going to get a lot of mileage out of it, or if you're using it just for fun, you really just can't stretch it far. So that one just disappoints me. This one's really cool. It's not only really stretchy, but it's signed. It's signed by... I can't read cursive, but it's signed. I have a nice autographed Fleshlight with that one. This one's just a classic, a timeless classic. This one really gets around, and it really knows its way around the old move set. So if you're ever locked in combat, this is just like a katana. Reliable, old-fashioned, works well, gets the job done. This one on the surface doesn't seem all that different from a normal Fleshlight, but on the bottom it says Destroya. I don't know what that means, but it sounds like a Marvel supervillain, so this would be kind of like the fucking in-game Thanos of Fleshlights, which is kind of cool. I'll give that like a soft B, maybe a B+. I'll give it an A, because Destroya is a cool name. Again, just another standard Fleshlight, old, reliable, nothing too out of the park, nothing too wild there. Give that one a S. These two are pretty goddamn cool. These are like some cyberpunk sci-fi Fleshlights. They really make you feel like Spider-Man, so I'm going to give both of these an S. Really, I give all the Fleshlights an S. There is no more fun toys out there that just like, whip your friends with, fucking play catch with. Like, honestly, I'd start substituting the football. Like, instead of tossing the pigskin between father and son, I'd start tossing the human skin between father and son here with Fleshlights. Just bang, playing catch with them. These things are fucking fun as shit, even if you don't fuck them, which I don't. I need to keep reiterating that point, and I know the more I say it, the less you believe me, but I swear to God I still haven't fucked these things. I'm practicing abstinence from sex toys. But anyway, I thought this would be a fun way of celebrating a billion views. Hopefully soon, a billion subscribers. That'd be pretty fucking awesome. But anyway, again, you already know this, but I want to say it again. Thank you so much for all the kind words and the support and just the staying around and all the good shit. I want to thank all of you and the nice little community around here. Fuck yeah. Take it easy, everyone. See ya. Yeah, I hate that series from Genius where they go into the lyrics and deeper meaning behind the songs that are popular in the world these days. I think that whole series sucks some serious asshole, like some filthy butthole. It's so uncomfortable to watch as well. I really don't get the appeal. So if you haven't seen it, I'm not going to play any clips because they're pretty heavy-handed with how they enforce their copyright to their shitty little series here, so I'm not going to take any risks. But what they do is they bring on a popular artist, for example, Lil Nas, who's got the Old Town Road song, which is huge right now. They bring him on to talk about what the song means. Spoiler alert, every song that's popular these days is pretty easy to deduce. It doesn't take a fucking scientist, a lyrical scientist to figure out what it actually meant. It's not very profound. Most people can probably figure it out on the first listen. But they make it even more uncomfortable by having them sing the verse as well with no music, so it just sounds like bad karaoke. It's like when you were growing up as a kid and if one of your friends had Rock Band and they hogged the microphone and sang shittily into it. That's what Genius does to all their artists. They make them go on there and either rap their song or sing their song, and it's always shitty. And they break it down verse by verse, and they take a couple of seconds, and I mean literally a couple of seconds, to explain exactly what it means. Because it only takes a couple of seconds to figure it out once you hear the lyrics. A good example of this is a new one they have from Lil 2Z. I'm unfamiliar with his work, but it's for his song Stay on Your Toes. He raps his entire 9-line verse, and then for his explanation is, they be hatin', and then it goes to the next verse. That's the explanation, and fair enough, you know what? They do be hatin', I suppose, and that's where that verse came from. But why the fuck are people praising this as, oh wow, that's eye-opening. I guess I really just didn't get into the meat of what he was actually saying here. They be hating. Oh, God, thank you, Genius. It's fucking silly that this series is as popular as it is and people like it as much as it is. The reason I'm bringing this up now is because I released the 2019 Guy music video on Friday, and also the song's on Spotify and shit now, so I'll link that in the top comments. Also, I'll link my Twitch there. Since we're linking shit, I'll just throw everything out there, just fucking vomit it there. Ever since I released that, I'm getting emails from Genius begging me to come on their show to talk about my profound lyrics and the deep meanings behind them. Guinness Book of World Records won't stop contacting me. Your mother's been all up in my DMs. Everyone is trying to get a piece of the 2019 Guy pie. The cream pie. And I just have no interest in any of that garbage because it's unnecessary. Everyone's going to draw the same conclusion about the theme of the song. That's how it is for every popular song right now. I don't mean to drop trousers and wet fart into your cereal bowl in the morning, but big music these days is not profound. It's not designed to be profound. It's not meant to be, and it doesn't need to be. It's all very obvious. Making these Genius lyrical breakdown videos with this just fucking generic cliche shit is all just milking the tender titties of a trendy popular song. And I guess there's really nothing wrong with that. People eat it up, so good for them. They have a piece of shit entertainment. But much like the Fine Bros in the React series, if I don't understand it and I don't like it, I want to take a shit on it. And I want to shit on Genius here because I never really watched any of their lyric breakdown things until yesterday, because now that 2019 Guy has become the biggest song in the world, literally Kurt Cobain sent me an email the other night telling me how good the song was. So we've got the Cobain Meister on our side here. If he's in our corner rooting for 2019 Guy, we've got something special on our hands. But now that it's at that level, I figured I'm going to be getting these offers from Genius. I'm going to be talking to Conan O'Brien via email on The Late Show. Probably going to decline him. Sorry, Conan, to let you down. So I was getting my homework in there, seeing exactly what these shows were, and Genius is just so bad. I don't understand this series at all with this lyrical breakdown shit. It offers nothing of value. You might as well just bring the artists on there to just spread their ass cheeks and show their butthole. You'd get about the same amount of quality from that little short video as you do from the 6 minutes of really vague, shitty breakdowns of the lyrics that everyone already understood anyway. I watched a good handful of Genius videos, and it felt like I was watching an episode of Yu-Gi-Oh! Every time. They put the lyrics up on screen, you know exactly what the lyrics are about, but then you still have the person telling you exactly what they're about. It's like in Yu-Gi-Oh! When they play the card, this is Pot of Greed, draw 2 cards. Well, it says on the card, I can read that, I know what it does, and yet Yugi will spend a couple of seconds or minutes explaining it. I get it, Yugi. Thank you for blasting my urethra with the knowledge that I'd already acquired just by looking at it. It's just a really dumb, shitty show. Now, full disclosure, because Genius does seem to be like douchebags, I did not get invited to Genius to do a lyrical breakdown. Sorry to, ruin the surprise, break the magician's code, and reveal the secret. The curtains come up. I didn't get invited, but I watched their shit because I thought it'd be entertaining if they did. If they do decide they want to invite me, I'm certainly declining it because this is really a shitty show. I think it's a very bad show, and that's just kind of what I wanted to talk about real quick. That's it. So yeah. Discord makes me feel like a degenerate pile of dog shit, like some type of socially outcasted loser. Anytime I fire that shit up, which is daily. I'm not here to shit on Discord as a service because I think it's a very good service. Fucking everyone's using it for good reason. Like if I call my grandma right now, she'll probably try and drop me her like Discord friend info because it's just a better service than most shit out there. But I can't stand using Discord because it's so embarrassingly cringeworthy. I don't like using that word. That's a shitty word, but I can't think of anything else to describe Discord other than that. It's something that anytime I fire it up, I'm immediately just getting a bad taste in my mouth, like someone just blasted a fart right down my esophagus. The second you fire it up, you already know who made the program and who it's for, primarily. The loading thing. Constructing additional pylons to hold your awesomeness. Watch out, they're afire in their laser at our base belong to us. Just the ranky-dankiest of memes. And that's not that big of a deal in and of itself. It's almost cute, cringeworthy shit. Like, a child going up to you saying, pull my finger, you pull their finger and they shit their pants. Like, that's not that big of a deal. But what makes Discord frustrating to use as an actual service is their entire company is branded around this idea of lol, xd, random, roleplay, cosplay, Tumblr type shit. Now, I have my own Discord for my streams at twitch.tv/moistcritikal. You should go check it out. I stream daily. Fuck yeah. Love to see you there. I have a Discord for that where people go and they want to know when I'm streaming or if they just want to talk to each other. It's just a nice little community. And the thing is, if I reach out to Discord, if I have a question, they are no fucking help. It's like I just wandered into the goddamn anime fan club as they're LARPing in the fucking classroom. For example, Kaya, when we had our old Discord thing a while back, reached out to their partner support team about an issue we had, and this is the response he was met with. Hey Kaya Orson, Springle here. I just wanted to say thanks so much for reaching out to the partner team. Our ultra elite gaggle of partner support elves are crunching their way through solving your request. We'll get back to you quicker than a hoofer snatch after a rain double. All the cheers, Springle. Now you get a response like this, and the first thing you think is I must have messaged the wrong company. This must have gone to a sex offender somewhere. This certainly can't be Discord. There's no way. There's no way they have a secret agent elf named Springle there crunching their way through my request. And what the fuck is a hoofer snatch or a reen double? I've never heard of these words before. Because it's all weird, like super high fantasy garbage. And it's not just like their support team, their whole company. Here's the message you get when you get denied for partnership as a Discord server. A Discord partner server is like a big deal, I guess, to a certain extent. So this is what happens when you get declined. My name is Springle. So our old pal Springle from the support team's back here, and this time he's delivering some bad news. Thanks for opening that email. It was getting a bit cramped, Kimpa. Back at the Discord HQ, our ritual elves have finished looking over your application. Once finished, they all hum in unison and summon a fortune cookie containing the verdict. It's fantastic and delicious, Kimpa. Without further ado, let's crack open the cookie and see what it says. Maybe another day. That's a great fucking rejection right there. Not only am I getting declined by the most childish company on the planet, but they're also patronizing me with it, so I'm getting like some fucking fanfic for my rejection. Aw, Shinkledinks. It looks like we can't accept you as a partner today. I'm so sorry, but maybe one day you'll grow up big and strong and we can accept you then. Yeah, maybe one day I can be so big, strong, and mentally stable that I can pretend to be a fucking Springle elf. In the meantime, it looks like you might have what it takes to join our hype squad right now. I'd love to see you submit an application and join us at the event or convention near you. Thank you so much for your support and keep building, Kimpa. Hope I get to see your beautiful face again. My magic is powered by your love. Don't forget you can keep in touch with us on Twitter at Discord app. Until we meet again, Kulu Limpa. Of course. Kulu Limpa to you as well, Mr. Springle. That shit just fucking sucks to read. Oh, I'm sorry, you have been declined by our magical mystical forest of time traveling wizards. I'm so sorry. Try again next time, but why don't you follow us on Twitter and join our hype squad, Kimpa? It's so fucking embarrassing. It's a service that I can never recommend to anyone, even though I think it's really good, because I don't want to subject them to this kind of company. Shit's sad. What they should have is they should have two different Discords. This should be like Discord, children, Discord, fantasy, and then they should have like Discord Pro, where it's like, normal shit, where they're not all up in your face, like rubbing their mystical asshole on you and patronizing and condescending on you and shit like that. It's stupid. It's a really dumb idea for a company identity. And I'm going to go out on a limb and say this is not the same Springle as the Springle from Partner Support Team. The Springle from Partner Support Team, the Rain Doubler, he would never sink so low as to write an email like this. There's definitely other people parading as Springle around that office. It's a big conspiracy I've got. Got the fucking tinfoil condom on. I know there's more than one Springle there. Someone is parading around as a fake Springle. Now let's go ahead and see what it looks like when you get accepted as a Discord partner. My name is Springle. Springle again, baby. Fuck yeah. Thanks for opening that email. It was getting a bit cramped, Kimpa. The same opening. And then in the fortune cookie this time, instead of getting a giant fist in your ass, you get the chosen one. Wowee. You're chosen. It's a time for celebration because you're now an official Discord partner. I'm not saying you should print this email out and put it on your fridge, but you should definitely print this email out and put it on your fridge. Golly, this is exciting. All the perks are yours. In about a week, you'll have access to our VIP servers, ability to add custom splash page to your invite screen and vanity URL. How exciting, Kimpa! Also, the King of Hoodies has finally decreed, and you shall receive yours in a few weeks. The magic is waiting, so don't let the magic wait any longer. In less repetitive terms, click the button and fill out the form so we can send you a hoodie. Click to get swag. There's just no winning with that email. There's no winning with Discord, no matter what happens. If I won the lottery through Discord, I'd still be embarrassed. It's just so silly. Like, I don't know why the company is branded this way as their identity. Wow, I look like a fucking psychopath. Kimpa. But anyway, I don't know why they chose this as their identity for their company, because this appeals literally to such a small portion of people, like not even gamers. This is such a sliver of gamers. Like, most people probably don't like to be talked to like this or have a service that treats them like children. They also have this list of words that if anyone in your server uses them, like if they say retard, your entire server can get nuked. Without even consulting you, without giving you the option of banning that person, they can just take down your server if one person uses the word retard in it, as an example. There's a lot of words that have like that, but there have been cases of entire servers going down just because one person in it said a word, and then the whole thing is gone. So they fucking treat this like it's some type of awful dystopia. It's such a good service, but God, I can't stand the fucking company behind it. And I just wanted to vent about this. We've talked about it on the official podcast, but I can't stress enough that there needs to be two Discords. There needs to be this Discord for whatever LARPers want that, and then a Discord for people that don't like to be treated like fucking idiots. That's just my suggestion. I'm no mystical fairy elf working for Discord, but I really think that should be in the future plans for him. That's it. So yeah. What the fuck's going on, everyone? It's Soccer Mom Charlie here, ready to tell you what my least favorite video I've ever made is. The video that I think is by far the worst pile of shit I have ever made, and most people agreed. Now let me take you back to the past. The year is 2012. It's an interesting time. Only 90s kids remember 2012. The Mayan calendar said in December of 2012 everyone would stop being able to ejaculate, thus the world would end or some bullshit like that. BioWare also didn't suck huge wiener holes. Mass Effect used to be good. I know it's hard to believe now, but Mass Effect was a very strong series and one of my favorite at the time. Now, Mass Effect 3 was slated to come out very soon, and in order to get myself hyped up and get everyone in the mood, I came up with this banger of an idea for a video where I would make a bunch of weird-looking characters in the Mass Effect Create a Character section, and I would sync them moving their heads left and right to a song. In my head, it seemed like such a fucking great idea, on par with Turbo Hotness, which is the porn video I made, where I took the porn star Euphrat fingering her pussy to the sound of Through the Fire and the Flames, and I synced those up. And to me, the Commander Shepard video that I made back then was like the precursor to that. Like, I couldn't quite grasp the porn set to Through the Fire and the Flames, so instead I settled for a video game character moving his head to a shitty song. Now, I made the video and it took me over 6 hours worth of editing to sync up his head movements with the song's hits, and I was so goddamn proud of that work. I thought for sure this was going to be the one to put me in the history books. I'll go ahead and show you the result of all that hard work now, and trust me when I say it's not pretty. It's certainly not a good video. It is a shitter. It is a, I know many of you are probably very disappointed that a supreme intellect being like myself, an enlightened euphoric redditor like me, was able to even conceive something as childish and juvenile as that. I know it's disappointing, but I did. I made that and it took me over 6 hours. And I know it doesn't seem like a lot of work, but a lot of fucking work went into that. Let me tell you that. I went on a goddamn hunger strike for like 6 hours for that. I didn't leave my computer. Damn near gave myself some deep vein thrombosis making that piece of shit. So I went through the fire and the flames for that one for sure. And the results, it just didn't translate. It's not a good video, and pretty much everyone agreed. When I initially posted it, it was met with overwhelmingly negative reviews, like a 10% on Rotten Tomatoes, basically. And I got very upset, and I was like, shit, I worked really hard on this, but they don't like it, I'm taking it down. So I took it down like an hour or two after I uploaded it, but then I looked at myself in the mirror, I was like, Charlie, you worked so fucking hard on this, you're gonna post it again, and this time they're gonna love it. As if someone had just deneuralized the Men in Black style, rewrote their memories to make them love the video. Getting myself hyped up like a boxer before the fight. Come on, Charlie, you can do it, like slapping my own ass, getting myself ready in the zone. So I posted it again, and again, everyone hated it, and I was like, shit, okay, it's done. It's never seen the light of day. I'm gonna pretend like I never posted it, my account was hacked. So I took it down again, and then I waited until the next day after I fucking lost sleep over it, like, I waited one more time, and I posted it one more time, and this time it was met with overwhelmingly negative reviews again, but I wrote it out. I was like, Charlie, you worked hard on it, and it's alright, you enjoyed making it, so I posted it again, and I think that is a lesson in this video everyone should take away. If you're proud of something and you worked hard on something, fuck what people think. Unless it is like super shitty, like really bad. Yeah, Commander Shepard, the video I made, it's not good. It's a stinky dog shit diaper, but it's not like I'm gonna be thrown in jail because it's such a shit video. It's just, a bit of a subpar one. So, be proud of your shit. Unless it is really bad, then at that point, yeah, maybe just forget it happened. But anyway, this is the answer to the question I get, what is my least favorite video I've ever made? It's Commander Shepard, because I put a whole lot of work into it, and it got nothing but insults, you slimy vermin. It's a great video, god damn it. But yeah, anyway, that's the answer. It's a shitty video, to be honest. And that's it. Don't forget to go to twitch.tv/moistcritikal, baby. Fuck yeah. See ya. Porn, the great uniter. The one force that ties strangers to strangers in a way they don't even realize. The one thing every human being has in common, the love of porn, the art of porn, the ethereal beauty of the craft. Now, as the title of the video suggests, I used to watch the same porn video for the better part of 2 years, perhaps a little longer than 2 years, but I'm going to say 2 years just to err on the side of caution. I've made it no secret that I refuse to get a haircut at the moment, and that I also used to have very bad OCD. Not your generic watered down bullshit meaningless version of OCD where you move your car keys from the counter to the drawer because you don't like them on the counter. That's not fucking OCD, you goddamn bigot. Don't you hijack what OCD actually means. I had literal OCD, and one of my rituals was watching the exact same lesbian porn video for the better part of 2 years. And I want to tell you what happened as a result of doing that. Now, let's go ahead and start. The video was called Nice Pair of Lesbians. Let's take a moment of silence to remember that beautiful video from redtube.com. It is no longer on redtube.com. Okay, thank you for participating. The video still exists. I know, I get emails all the time like, hey, I found that lesbian porn that you used to jerk off to, that used to haunt your fucking boners. Here it is. Yes, I know it's still on the internet, but in like 240 and 360p. On RedTube, it used to be 480. 480p or higher does not exist anywhere on the internet anymore. Trust me, I have looked. But that's besides the point. That's just to give you the context of what the video is. Maybe someone else out there used to also have OCD and jerk off to this video for 2 years straight. And if so, you're not alone, my brother, or my sister. You and I now share a cosmic bond, a bond stronger than the bond between a mother and her child. I love you. Now, it wasn't just watching this lesbian porno. I had an entire routine for it, like a choreographed dance routine for jerking off to this video. And I know I've talked about a little of this on the podcast before, but I still get emails asking me to talk more about that porno that I jerked off to for 2 years. So I figured I'd talk more about it. I also get emails asking me what's my Twitch account, and I'm glad you asked. It's twitch.tv/moistcritikal. Go drop a follow, subscribe. Love to see you over there. I stream daily. Twitch.tv/moistcritikal. Fuck yeah. But anyway, so this routine that I came up with, well, not that I came up with, that I kind of fucking cursed myself with and burdened myself with at the time. I would make certain facial expressions during certain points in the video. I would say certain things to the actresses in the video, and make no mistake, you goddamn delusional incels, the porn actresses are just that, they're actresses. They have a script of certain moves they're going to do. It's not like they're just fingering themselves and ass blasting their assholes with their fists for your enjoyment alone. It is a job, and they are actresses. Get it through your fucking skull. But anyway, I would say things to them like, "Oh, you're so hot, that's so sexy, I'm touching my dick to you," as if they could hear me, and as if I was communicating to them directly as like the director of this video. It was a really weird routine, it really was. To kind of give you a brief oversight of all of it, I'm not going to walk you through every step that I would do here. In fact, I don't even remember all of them anymore. But before I would watch the video, I would queue it up and let it all buffer and load, because this was a long time ago. I fucking using RedTube, so obviously it's a long time ago. And while it was buffering and loading, I would turn around from the video, so that way I couldn't see them, and they couldn't see me, obviously. And I would look at my penis until it was completely flaccid, entirely soft. So that way I was coming in there with like a clean canvas, and they were going to 100% get me from 0 to hero. So once I was certain that my dick was super soft, I would then sit down and get ready for the action. As it would start, I would say hello to the girls, and I'd compliment them on their beauty. The video started with a girl fingering herself, and I would compliment her on how great she was doing, and then the other girl joined in, and then I'd say hi to her, like, "Oh, hey, you just stopping by?" Shit like that. It was really fucking weird. And honestly, I hope the NSA was watching during those times, because I would love to see those documents. I'd love to see that film. I think that shit would make for a really incredible case study on OCD, because that shit was goofy as fuck. And I would love to remember exactly all the shit that I would say. I don't necessarily want to see underage me jerking himself off into the webcam or anything. I could skip that part. But I at least want to see what I was saying to the girls during the video. But that's kind of how it went. Facial expressions, words and things I would say to the girls. It was always the same. I had to make sure I said the same things to the girls. I had to make sure I made the same facial expressions. I even made sure to keep track of licking my lips. I had certain time marks where I felt I needed to lick my lips at those times, otherwise I was disrespecting them. It was very weird. Now, I did this for, like I said, the better part of 2 years, and honestly probably a little bit more, but we'll say 2 years, and I didn't deviate from that video. I didn't venture out. That was my home. I lived in Nice Pair of Lesbians on RedTube, and they took my home away. It's not there anymore. I'd like to remind you all that it's not fucking there. It's a goddamn crime. It's a fucking sin what they've done removing that. But now, to tie it back to the title of the video, I watched the lesbian porn for 2 years. Here's what happened. What happened is I recognized how weird it was, and I started to really combat my OCD, and I started cheating on the porno by watching other videos. I did. I'll come out and say it. I fucking cheated on that porn video and watched other ones. And that's what happened. I stopped being so fucking weird through a lot of effort to try and combat my OCD rituals. I've talked about that in the past, so I'm not going to get into how I did that or the steps I took. But that's the result of watching porn for 2 years. You feel like a fucking degenerate loser, and then eventually you stop, hopefully, if you try hard enough. But anyway, that's the story for today. Thank you all. See ya. I don't think I've ever shared a story about myself so embarrassing that it changes the way you look at me. I've shared a lot of embarrassing stories with girls and shit that I've had in the past, but nothing that's so goddamn game-changingly cringe-inducing that you vomit and think less of me until today. I was trying to think of a story that I wanted to talk about because I wanted to tell a really embarrassing one today, but I wanted to like amp this shit up to like the highest fucking level I could. So I was going to my past, of which there's a myriad of embarrassing stories to choose, but I wanted to find the perfect one. And then I remembered something that made me sick to my goddamn stomach, so I can't wait to share it with all of you. So to preface this happened in high school. The year is 2011. This was right after my third lung collapse. If you've been following me for a while, you know my lung collapsed 3 times. And the last time it happened was 2011. Well, in 2011, I got surgery to have it fixed. And before I went into surgery, there was a girl I had a crush on that had just added me back on Facebook. and I decided I'd send her like this goddamn scholarly "oorah, I love you" message to her, and we had never spoken. So this girl and I never spoke once in our lives, not even by accident. If I farted somewhere in school, there's no way she would ever fucking smell it because we were never even close to each other in any sense of the word. The only reason we even knew about each other, or rather the only reason I knew about her, was because she was a cheerleader and I played basketball. Other than that, no communication, literally not even eye contact. And yet for some reason, in 2011, I sent this girl the most disgustingly embarrassing messages when I was in the hospital. I haven't read them. I screenshotted them today, and I sent them to myself so I could read them to you today, and we can experience this together as a lesson in how not to ever approach a woman in any way. So allow me, please. Pickup artist legend Charile is going to guide you through the how-don'ts, the do-nots of women. So let's go ahead and get into these messages here. So ace pussy slaying god Charles in 2011 leads with, "I know you and I have never talked, but I just wanted to tell you that you are one of the most beautiful girls I've ever seen." Now, some of you might hear that and think I came on a little too strong. Looking back on it now, hindsight's 2020, I don't think I came on strong enough. I should have led with "I love you," signed Charles, and then like a little kiss, and then maybe go from there. So after I said this, she responds with a simple question mark. Nothing else, just one character, a question mark. I was already in the hospital, but if I wasn't, that right there would have sent me to the hospital with fucking cardiac arrest. That shit hurt so goddamn bad at the time. But I mean, what can you expect when someone leads with some shit like this? This is the kind of shit you see on Twitter with like a bad English associated with it, with a "send bobs and bitch lasagna, please, vagina look good with penis" and stuff like that. It's a creepy message. Any girl should respond with a question mark or nothing at all. But anyway, my spirits weren't deterred. I continued. "Yeah, I'm in the hospital and just said, fuck it, it's worth a try. You probably don't think the same. You probably don't think the same about me, but I just wanted to say that." That's some nice guy shit right there. Jesus Christ. Well, this is pretty fucking bad. Let's keep going. To that she says, "Oh, I'm sorry," frowny face, "but thanks, I guess. Why are you in the hospital?" I'm surprised she even believed I was in the hospital, to be honest. You got a fucking stranger coming at you, pretending like he's going off to war and sending a love letter out there like it's some goddamn type of anime. If someone sent me shit like this, I'd be like, "Yeah, sure, buddy. I'm sure you're in the hospital. What do you have? Small dick syndrome going on? There's no cure. Get out of my DMs. I have recurrent pneumothorax in my left lung. It has collapsed 3 times, and tomorrow I have surgery to repair it." Sad violins playing, I'm sure, when I was typing this. "I just wanted to tell you that before I had the surgery. I know that it is..." Excuse me, I've got to scroll to the next one. It's a little out of order. 2019 Charlie clearly doesn't know how to fucking screenshot things in order. Here we go. "I know that it is a weird way to start a conversation. I also know that I came on way too strong telling you that." Self-awareness, key. Even back then I had it. Even back then I'm like, Jesus, I'm sounding really fucking weird, but I'm still going for it. Didn't stop me. Should have stopped me, to be honest. Yeah, that's the lesson to take away here. Don't do this. You know, at this, when you're starting to recognize, like, holy shit, this is too strong and I'm being very weird, just stop. Then she says something very odd. "On behalf of all the YouTube comments, Charles, I hope you cut your hair." I'm not cutting my hair. She didn't say that. I'm just telling you, stop telling me to fucking cut my hair. I want to see what it looks like real long. I want to look like a goddamn lead singer in a mid-2000s emo band. Just let me fucking have this, alright? So anyway, she asks about the surgery and shit. Nothing to talk about there. But then, as we're starting to wrap up, I say, "Just wondering, do you know who I am? If you don't, I bet this is the most fucked up conversation you've ever been a part of." I mean, yeah, that's definitely a fucked up way of going about things, past Charles. Jesus Christ. I sound like some type of spoiled rich kid. Do you know who my father is? He invented Bing. I'm a big deal. Please love me, please. God damn it. I'm in the hospital. For God's sakes, do you know who I am? God, these are such embarrassing messages. She says, haha, no, I do know who you are. Like, I've seen you, but that's it. Yeah, I mean, yeah, that sounds about right. I was a very odd guy. Odd looking, too. I had this really weird my hair looks like shit now, but back then I had an even weirder hairstyle where I shaved all, like, the side, the back, and the top of my head, like it was a one with the clippers, but the front was about as long as it is now. So everything was pretty shaven except the bangs. So yeah, I was a fucking lunatic. It'd be hard to forget it'd be hard not to see me and make fun of me. I was one step shy of like a trench coat fedora wearing fucking loser in high school. I really was. So yeah, it makes sense that she at least remembered what I looked like, because I looked like a goddamn fucking psychopath. So to that I said, "Oh, sorry. I bet this is weird for you, huh?" The only way to make things like this not weird is to keep saying, "Yeah, this is probably weird, right?" That way, it's, it takes the tension off. It's like, oh, he's saying it's weird. It can't be weird if he keeps talking about how weird it is. All right, it makes sense. Like, pretty much every fucking line I say in here is about how weird it is, and yet I keep going. To that, she says, "I don't mind at all." So then, in closing, this is my finisher. This is my Mortal Kombat fatality. My big grand finale here. All right, cool. Maybe when I get out of here, we can talk more so I can get to know you a little better. I'm not as weird as this conversation makes me seem. You know. Little pro tip to the ladies: don't take someone up on that offer. They most likely are pretty fucking socially inept. I certainly was, 100%. We never talked after this. I can't imagine why, but we never spoke or anything. Nothing ever came of this, unsurprisingly. However, I'm sure if we did, I would have been still just as socially inept talking in person as I was on the Facebook Messenger. So the lesson, ladies and gentlemen, don't be weird. That's always the advice I give to someone going into college and shit. Just don't be weird. Don't be super forward. Don't be super out there. Just be normal conversations. Let things, simmer, develop, sniff things out. Don't just come in there guns blazing, fucking jerking off. "I love you. Do you love me?" Like, come on. Come on, 2011 Charlie. I look back on shit like this and I'm like, Jesus Christ. I never recognized how bad I was until, you get older. So, it's a pretty embarrassing story. Maybe it's not as embarrassing for listening to it, but for me, recollecting on this, it's fucking bad, man. Like, Jesus Christ. That girl was probably scared for her fucking life, thinking I'd be tossing pebbles at her window late at night at like 2 a.m. "Hey, did you think about me in the hospital? I'm alright now. You want to talk?" Shit, man. Well, that's the end of the story. Another nice tale for the compendium of awful interactions I've had with women, all of which being my fault, from my past. So, yeah, fuck yeah. That's it. See ya. During one of my yearly I look like a fucking psychopath with my hair like this. But I'm not getting a haircut. Don't even fucking tell me. I'm just going to let it grow. We're going to see what happens with the hair. But anyway, during one of my yearly answering question videos, I was asked about a secret talent that I have that no one knows about. And I said I had one, which was doing magic tricks, more specifically card magic. And yeah, it's a pretty fucking cool hobby, a secret talent to have. It definitely slays some pussy. Women watching this right now are probably completely wet just knowing that I can do card magic. Those are some sodden panties, no doubt. But I lied to all of you. I did. I actually have two secret talents, but the second one I don't often talk about because I feel like a lot of you will look at me differently, like I'm too powerful, like I'm this champion of masculinity, but I figured it's about time I talk about it. I am a carnival connoisseur. I can always win the big prizes. I am unfucking stoppable when it comes to winning those huge, ginormous prizes from the carnivals. So yesterday the state fair rolled around and I decided, you know what, let's go flex some of this shit again. I have an entire closet full of big stuffed animals, so typically what I do now when this rolls around is I win the big prize and give it away to a kid or something at the park. Anyone that really wants it, honestly. I just like winning the fucking prizes. It really makes a lot of blood rush to my penis. It makes me feel super fucking powerful, like an X-Men with a really useless power like winning carnival games. But I had Tiana record this so you guys could see how it's done, how the master goes to work like this. What you're about to see is like watching Da Vinci go to work, like taking a peek into the genius. Now, the game I win all the big prizes on is called Bottle Up. It's pretty simple. You have a stick, you have a ring, you have a string connecting the ring to the stick. Pretty much what cavemen used to do in their spare time, just fucking stand up beer bottles. It's at an angle. You only have to stand up one beer bottle using only the stick and ring, and you get the biggest prize that is there. It's all it takes. The guy there, typically at Bottle Up, will just start standing shit up left and right like he's some type of android with the sole purpose of standing up beer bottles with a ring and stick. And I just kind of emulate what he does. To give it a brief summary, you lift it up halfway, and then once it's halfway, you just lean forward like you're about to just fucking fall face first and eat shit. And 100% of the time it stands up. I also win the big prize on the basketball game, but there's no life hacks there. There's no pro tips, no Mr. Gear style life hacks there. That one's just pure raw skill. I have a disgusting basketball shot. Absolutely legendary. If I was just a little bit taller than 5'6", I'd probably be in the NBA making everyone look like amateurs. But anyway, here's the clips.
Under pressure now. First time. Winner.
Jesus. I feel like a superhero.
Game 2 now. Open hoops, guys. $2, 2 shots. Alright, for the win, getting this one in.
Right, every time. I like to be here.
Today, after I finished my bowl of steel nails and motor oil, I decided to hit the gym a little bit early today. So I went to the local LA Fitness and I was repping out 225 for 10 reps. And as I was finishing my first set, this big old meatball monster, like a real man's man with a big thick beard, a real deep voice, came up to me. He's like, "Hey bro, you mind if I jump in with you? Can you spot me?" And I was like, "Of course, bro, I fucking got you." So he was repping out, like 185 or something pitiful like that. And no big deal, right? I'm spotting him. And he's talking to me about some prior engagement he has later today and how he doesn't know how to tie a tie for it. And I was like, what the fuck? This man's man doesn't know how to tie a tie. Dude's got AirPods in, so I know he's like a real hotshot dude, like a real hairy-chested dude. How the fuck can he not know how to tie a tie? That's when it occurred to me. Nobody in these days knows how to tie a fucking tie. And that reminds me of what I made last year on Twitter. I posted a video on how to tie a tie fast because a lot of people ask me how I tie my tie fast. So I made a video tutorial about it, and I decided, you know what, it's time to share that shit again, because none of these fucking idiots know how to tie a tie these days, unfortunately. No offense to anyone that doesn't know how to tie a tie. Maybe your dad didn't teach you, or maybe your dad's Tom Brady and he decides to just kiss you on the lips instead. So I'll be the father figure here and teach you how to tie a tie in record time so you can stop being a little slob and wear a tie. Also, I very rarely wear a tie. I wear it once every couple years, but I know how to do it like an expert. So this is what I posted on Twitter last year, and it's applicable now. Obviously, the story I told isn't true. I just overheard someone at the gym as I was repping out 130 talking about how they can't tie a tie, and that made me want to bring this topic up again. So enjoy, and please learn from this. It's not often you'll find me wearing anything other than a white t-shirt, but that doesn't mean that I'm some subhuman baby virgin boy that doesn't know how to tie a tie, so I'm going to teach you how to do it very fast. I don't know the anatomy of a tie, so I'm going to call it very plainly: skinny part, fat part. You start by draping it over your hand, then you want to take the fat part, drop it over the skinny guy. So you go chode over Slim Jim, flop it down. From here, you want to supinate your hand, poopinate your elbow, then you want to come behind the fat guy and execute a backdoor reach around with a McTwisty and drop it over this hand. Let's see that again in slow motion on the Jumbotron for the sports fans at home. Bang, bang, then right here, a little breakdance move, turn it around, and then just drop it back over your other hand. And then you have this contraption going on, this unholy concoction. It's called the Garshaspian Finkelhorn. From here, take the skinny part, go over your neck, push it through the anus, pull it out the other side, and then from here it's just smooth sailing. Pull down. And there you have it. A very fast foreign hand knot. Defining art's been extremely difficult for our species for many years, and I'm not going to sit here and try and define it because I really just don't give a shit about it. But on Vimeo, the line between what's art and what's bullshit is blurred. There's a fine line between creativity, art, and just plain fucking lunacy, and Vimeo tap dances on it and shuns anything that it believes doesn't quite meet that criteria of being art. And I'm banned on that site, and I never really talked about why. I got asked about it on stream last night at twitch.tv/moistcritikal, and I figured I'd elaborate. On Vimeo, anything pretty much passes as art. I saw a fucking series of videos on there of an old woman in a morph suit that had the vagina cut out of it, and she had a bodyguard pick her up like he was giving her like a fucking Heimlich maneuver or going for a German suplex, pick her up, and she urinated in a circle as he carried her. He carried her in a circle, and she just urinated in a circle, and it was a pretty impressive stream because it was a circle that took about 30 seconds to complete, so I can applaud her for her stamina with urinating and peeing everywhere. But that's art. That was the whole piece. She pissed in this circle, the bodyguard mopped it up, and then, everyone gave a little golf clap to him, and that was the end of the performance. And it was a 3-part performance. It wasn't always a circle she was peeing in and shit, but it was called, like, the Fountain of Youth or something, some really pretentious name. And that's on Vimeo, and that's promoted on there. So how the fuck was I banned from Vimeo when their threshold for what's art is this low, where I could go on stage, fart into a jar, huff it, put it on Vimeo, and get fucking 2 million views, and the pseudo-intellectuals applauding me for my art piece, my modern art? How the fuck did I get banned? That's what I'm here to talk about. In 2016, I made what I still believe is a very fine piece of art that I called Turbo Hotness. It's a modern take on the human figure. What it is I took a video from Twisty of a porn star fingering herself. The porn star's name was Euphrat, the actress, and she was fingering herself. And I looked at this and I thought, there's something I can do here. There's potential to expand upon this piece. It's a great piece as is, don't get me wrong. Like on its own, it stands still. It's a good piece, but I thought as a art connoisseur that I could bring it to the next level and really just take the whole modern art world by storm. So I took her fingering herself, that video footage, and I synced it to Dragon Force's Through the Fire and Flames. I meticulously synced the performance. So as she was fingering her clitoris, you were hearing the... It was really good. I'm really proud of the work I put into it. And honestly, I have to give credit where credit's due, because at the time when I made that, I was actually inspired myself by an artist on Snapchat, back when I used Snapchat. I haven't touched that shit in years now because they fucking ruined it, but I got sent to Snapchat by someone, and he was watching porn, and Through the Fire and the Flames was in the background, and I was like, wait a minute, this visionary is onto something here. And then I thought, what if I combined both mediums and I took music with fingering? And thus, Turbo Hotness was born. And by all definitions, it was a masterpiece. It truly was. But Vimeo didn't see it that way. Perhaps Turbo Hotness was too much for Vimeo, and they got rid of it and banned me. But I honestly think it's pretty fucked up that you'll allow all these weird pseudo-art piece pretentious bullshit things where you hang like a blank canvas on a wall and call it art, but you won't allow me to sync fingering with Through the Fire and Flames. And I put a lot of work into that. I was like a skilled surgeon behind the editing program there, watching the fingering in slow motion, frame by frame, mapping it to the Through the Fire and the Flames melody. It really was outstanding work. For instance, during the song, I'm sure most of you are familiar with it by now from Guitar Hero and other types of shit, but you know in the beginning where it goes dun 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 and then well, at that dun dun dun, I heard that and I was like, wait a minute, check this out. So I had her regularly fingering herself, and then when the first dun clipped, bang, I flipped it around, so now she's fingering herself on the ceiling. Next dun, bang, flipped it back on the ground, bang, back on the ceiling. It was beautifully synced, a lot of work went into it and a lot of thought. And yeah, on the surface, maybe it seems a bit juvenile to sync something like fingering, something so sacred, to Through the Fire and the Flames. But you have to, Vimeo, you have to dig deeper. You have to look in there with your artistic eyes. Like what I was saying, it's a commentary on the modern human figure and the societal pressure to pleasure yourself as fast as possible, so that way you can go right back into the working world, like what the society's telling you to do, that you have to be constantly working and being productive, that you can't take a moment to satisfy yourself and really take your time with it. Thus, the chaotic nature of Through the Fire and the Flames represents society's pressure to just finish yourself off quickly so you can get right back to work into the real world. And that's what I was really saying with the piece, Vimeo, and I think if you had just taken a bit more time and really analyzed Turbo Hotness, you would have seen that. I think you really would have. You were too quick to ban me for just some nonsense. It's a wrongful ban, and I truly think there needs to be justice for Turbo Hotness, like a fucking hashtag why Vimeo. It's just baffling to me, and I thought you all deserved an explanation. Not that I'm getting, fucking people emailing me every day wondering where Turbo Hotness is gone. It's not exactly, like the holy grail people are trying to find again, but it is gone. It's not on the internet anymore because I couldn't upload it to Pornhub at the time, which is why I used Vimeo, because Pornhub's uploader was being really shitty, so I went to Vimeo, and it didn't last very long on Vimeo. It was only up there for a week, and then after that, bang, poof, gone. So you can't find Turbo Hotness anywhere, and that's a goddamn shame. I think maybe the higher ups at Vimeo are keeping it to themselves. Perhaps it was so beautiful they didn't want to share it with the rest of the world, like some pirate's treasure that they're now hoarding. Either way, banning my shit for that, just downright wrong. I have to say, Vimeo, I'm very disappointed. And now you all know why I'm banned on Vimeo. So yeah. I absolutely do not understand the Fine Bros React series. I would say that there's only one universal constant in this corporeal dimension we exist in, and that is, if the Fine Bros have a React video, it's going to be extremely fucking boring. They're all exactly the same. You get a group of people together, they react to some popular internet trend or meme, and 100% of the time it's going to be like falling asleep with your eyes open while watching it, and yet for some reason, they're still so popular, and I really don't get it. At least fucking spice it up. Elders react to Goatsy. Teachers react to my butthole. Just make it something more interesting than college kids react to the egg, which we're going to look at today, their newest video, or elders react to the raving crab. Just such dumb shit. And every single person in these videos have absolutely nothing interesting to say. They just watch the thing that the Fine Bros present to them and they go, ha 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 ha, and then one sentence like, well, that was entertaining. That's literally all it is. And I don't blame the people in the videos. I don't think it's their fault. They probably have great personalities. They're probably really fucking flinging zingers out in the real world. But the Fine Bros format does not lend itself well to comedy or entertainment at all. You sit in front of a computer and you're forced to watch some shit, and then you have to put on a pseudo show. No one is going to be entertaining in that situation. It's fucking awful. It's a horrible, horrible format that's not conducive to anything even remotely misconstrued as entertaining. I just don't understand it. So let's go ahead and watch their newest one with college kids reacting to the world record egg.
So today, you are going to be reacting to this.
An egg! The famous egg.
First, let's feel the ground.
Oh my god.
First, let's feel the ground.
Really hot? Okay.
Wow, 30 million views.
That's f***ed up. That's assault. Don't laugh at that.
Don't worry, nobody is laughing at that. It's a really shit response from Kylie Jenner. For all of you that don't know this awful situation in the state of the internet, there is this movement to get an egg, a picture of an egg, the most liked picture on Instagram, and it did. Yeehaw. Nice work, 2019. We really stuck it to them this time around. Fuck the celebrities. Now we're on top. We're in control, baby. We made an egg, the most liked thing in the world. The comedy behind that is unmatched. It's fucking amazing. That is humor incarnate. The highest level of humor. It's a fucking egg. Like, it's a fucking egg. Like, how wild and wacky. It is the shittiest thing so far of the last couple years that I can think of in terms of like internet rallying and memeing. It's the most low effort but best summation of internet culture in 2019, where if it's lol xd so random, it's great. I know it's a bit of a weird flex, okay, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to fidget spin on you too hard there, memers, but it's fucking awful. It's fucking awful. I hate the world record egg. Let me get that on record. But now with that statement out of the way, how about we big chungus our way back into some more fiery spice ball egg memes, huh?
You mean to tell me this egg got more likes than my cute face? Poor doggo.
Aw, Doug. You're valid and sweet in your own way.
Don't get me wrong. I would like a picture of a dog over an egg any day, but it's the internet, so of course they're gonna choose to like an egg.
The entire React format is exactly how it is when you try and show your friend a video that you really like and they don't enjoy it, and you can clearly see that, but they put on a little bit of an act where it's like, oh, this is pretty good. Oh man, this is some wacky shit you're showing me here, Frank. This is, wow, thanks for this one, Harold. I'm glad you showed me this. That's the entire format stretched across 11 minutes for maximum ad revenue. It's not fun. None of these people even seem like they want to do this. They have nothing to say. And it's not their fault because there is literally nothing to say. You'll notice if you watch a full one of these in its entirety, and I don't recommend it, but if you do, every single one of them is going to play out the same way. Here's the thing. They read it out loud, and they maybe force a laugh or make one sentence at the end of it like, wow, that was something special there. Whoa, whoa.
This is really nice.
This is so spot on.
The cadence, the timing, and everything is there. It's perfect.
Here. This is your house? I'm poor. So, okay. How did this all happen?
Blink.
This almost just feels like the Fine Bros promoting this guy's parody, because this shit goes on for like a minute and a half, and they have nothing to say because they know it goes on for too long, so then the people watching just put in these forced laughs and goofy facial expressions. I just don't know who is sitting down fucking glued to their screen on the edge of coming like, yes, Fine Bros, keep showing me them watching this video in silence. Yes, I can't ejaculate without it. Oh my god, they're watching a video just like I watch a video. Oh, ah!
A f***ing egg, the internet. Kylie Jenner!
An egg, man. A f***ing egg. Let's dethrone Kylie.
I just love this meme in general because it's like he looks so into it and she's so bothered by it.
This is it, guys. Can't go any higher. We've reached the peak.
Well, I certainly fucking hope not, because if that's the peak of humanity right there, we really don't deserve to continue to take up any space in this universe. It's fucking pathetic.
Kris Jenner on her way to the hen house when she sees that an egg has broken Kylie's 18 million Instagram like record. Ah!
Oh my god, she wants to destroy all the eggs forever.
You know Chris is trying to scheme a way to get Kylie back on top.
If anything, it just brought her more relevance to her name that she got beaten by an egg.
Instagram is kind of ran by like celebrities and influencers, and people like that aren't relatable to an everyday person who uses Instagram. So I think this egg kind of makes people feel like anything is possible.
Well, that's certainly a bit of a stretch, to be honest with you. That's not the idea I got. But I do see where you're coming from, and if anything is possible, even in that, utopian society where genuinely anything is possible, there would still be one thing impossible, and that would be making a Fine Bros React video entertaining. This shit is so stale, so fucking boring, and I genuinely don't understand it, and I'm not trying to understand. I understand people are going to have different tastes than me, but just let me shit on this because it's fucking awful. I really can't stand this series. I don't get it. I don't understand who sits down and watches it and has a good old hoot and a holler watching people watch videos in silence with forced laughter and almost no input except for one sentence about how wacky what they saw was. It's very uncomfortable, and I don't enjoy it. If you're watching this, Fine Bros, and I know you're not, I don't like your content, or at least your React series. That's all I've ever seen you do. That and that like really shitty movie you made about like high school and like farting and shitting or something. I don't know. Some like weird high school movie you guys shit on and made really awful. But I don't like your React videos, and obviously no one liked that movie. That's the point I'm saying. I don't get these. I don't like them. That's it. So yeah. How the fuck is it going, everyone? I'll go ahead and acknowledge the elephant in the room. That Lubriderm lotion right there is not for masturbating. I use it for my hands. I just forgot to take it back to the bathroom, and I just now noticed it when I started up the recording. Anyway, what we're here to talk about today is Gearbox CEO Randy Pitchford and the hot water he finds himself in. Randy Pitchford is the CEO of Gearbox, aka Borderlands Studio, because that's the only good game they make. Good. I'm not even a fucking fan of the series, but I can acknowledge that it is a good series. But anyway, Randy Pitchford finds himself in some hot water, some real hot diarrhea water. He's getting sued for a bunch of different shit that I'm not really going to talk about because it's not super important to the story, but I need to talk about him getting sued because it is important to what we're about to talk about and listen to. Randy Pitchford's going to tell us a story, like a beautiful little school teacher telling us a great story, except Randy's story is about weird porn. But anyway, in the lawsuit, it's alleged he had a USB stick of underage porn on it, and he goes on a podcast the day after this lawsuit comes out and talks about his USB stick of porn. He claimed it was of-age porn, barely legal porn is what he called it. And I'm not here to talk about that. I'm here to listen to this guy's fucking disgustingly weird story, and we're going to reflect on it together. But I don't know what kind of fucking caveman carries around porn on a USB stick, nor how he could ever think it'd be a good idea to go on a podcast the day after these claims come out and corroborate that, yeah, he had a USB stick of porn, but it was for the purpose of magic tricks.
I'll carry my work around on a memory stick. And now today, I have these crazy encrypted memory sticks that have like, you have to punch in passcodes.
Because if I had one of your memory sticks and I knew about stuff, I assumed that...
The name of this podcast is the Piff Pod, and based on this one episode I've listened to here, I hope you like interruptions if you listen to these guys. Holy shit. If you thought the official podcast had a lot of interruptions, you have not seen shit yet. This is the final boss of interruptions. Randy Pitchford could barely manage to get a full sentence out without being interrupted. Even the female co-host had to constantly say, stop interrupting him, get back to the story. Because this guy that keeps interrupting him just keeps going on these awful tangents that don't even lead to like a good joke or anything, and they're so long and completely derail the story and the conversation. I bet Randy Pitchford probably couldn't even get a full urine stream into a urinal at this place without this man busting into the bathroom and pinching the tip of his dick close so he could talk about something and then let him go back to peeing. This man interrupts everything Pitchford does and says. Holy shit.
I had some so I was one night I was watching cam girl pornography. Have you ever watched, do you know what cam girl pornography is?
Is that the interactive one?
Yeah, there's what you do is you can get a webcam and you point it at yourself, and people will watch the video of this while they'll egg you on by giving you money, basically, as you take your clothes off and eventually
They give you money?
Well,
I like how he's pretending he doesn't know, as if he's not watching cam girl porn every night. I might have heard of cam girl porn once or twice. That's that degenerate one, right? Where it's like interactive or something. Oh, what? You give the girls money? Oh, that I would not. Who's giving girls money? I would never do that just so they could like say my name while putting a butt plug in their asshole. I mean, what are you talking about, Randy? It's weird.
And I just discovered this, and I was just fascinated. Like, what the fuck? Like, when I was a kid, you paid a bum $5 to go buy you a pornographic magazine from the liquor store. Like,
right.
that's how I got access to pornography when I was a kid. So like, and you know, and I had a teenage son, so I was like, this is fascinating.
You know, I really just don't understand your point with that right there, Randy. I have a teenage son, so I was watching cam girl porn because I have a teenage son, obviously.
And this one is just like I can't quite make sense of what the little thumbnail image is, so I'm looking into it, and it's a woman who is masturbating, and when she has some experience that appears as if she's having an orgasm, a huge amount of fluid comes out of her vagina. She has some kind of an explosive orgasm.
Hey, Jay.
This is not a sex worker. This is a fucking magician.
Honestly, that's a pretty profound statement right there from Randy, and I'd be lying if I said I haven't said shit similar when watching porn, like, damn, this girl is a wizard with cock. But to go the extra mile and claim that I was watching the porn to figure out if she was an actual wizard of penis, it's a bit of a stretch, but Randy really doubles down on the idea that he really needed to figure out if this girl was a big shot magician. It's a fucking crazy story. I hope you're buckled in.
And so apparently what you can do is they make videos and they sell them. And so I purchased one of her videos. I wanted to watch this.
You wanted to work out the method.
I wanted to work out the method, but it was late, so I copied it over to this memory stick.
But why? Why would you do that? If you're already watching this cam girl squirting, I'm assuming you're watching this in a safe location to be watching porn. You're not on a subway, in an airplane, at a Starbucks, or anything like that. So why would you copy it to a USB stick? You copy shit there if you want to take it somewhere. Where are you taking this porn? You bringing it over to your parents' house to show them? You bring it to your kids to show them? Where are you taking this? Do you take it to work with you? Is that what a Gearbox CEO does? Is that why Gearbox is such a shit video game company and pumping out shit stinkers? Because the fucking CEO of Gearbox is just jerking off in his office, bringing in porn on USB sticks?
And I go on my way. It turns out it was a magic trick. Like she's like it's a combination of camera work and sleight of hand. And I never saw like a turkey baster or whatever it was that she was using to deliver the fluid.
Goods, yeah.
But there was some method here that was like, oh my God, this is genius. It was super clever.
Oh, Jesus Christ, calm down there, Randy. Don't break the magician's code and reveal how the trick was done. You need to calm down there. You do not want to piss off the Cam Girl Magic Society. I just love that his excuse for downloading it was that he was trying to study the magic behind it, like the art behind it. I fucking love that excuse. I could already see that working growing up. No, Mom, you don't understand. I'm watching this to learn. I'm trying to study magic. You don't get out of my fucking room. It's also a little sad that when you break this down, Randy watched a cam girl squirt and he was so unfamiliar with squirting that he thought the only logical explanation was he was being deceived. It was magic. Like, he is so unfamiliar with a girl squirting or having an orgasm that he couldn't believe it was real and had to go out of his way to break it down and figure out how she cheated and used magic.
The memory stick somehow no longer was in my possession.
Oh, God.
And it was discovered, it was actually at a Medieval Times. Apparently some kid, an employee of the Medieval Times, and discovered secrets of my company and future games in development, and also discovered the pornography. It was barely legal porn. Like this girl's handle was only 18.
I had to splice the shit out of that audio to make that like a cohesive storytelling there, because Randy Pitchford was constantly interrupted by that fucking co-host who kept going off on like 2-minute, 3-minute tangents about the Medieval Times, and then asking what he had on his shirt and asking why he likes the shirt. It was frustrating to put that together, but in a nutshell, he had it on the USB stick. He left it at a Medieval Times because everyone carries their porn stick to the Medieval Times when they eat, obviously. And then an employee found it, accessed company secrets and the porn, which was barely legal porn. And now we get to the section of the story where his whole company finds out that he's jerking it to some cam girls.
So when he delivered this memory stick to the studio, I was on a business trip. I was out of town. So my executive assistant decides she's going to look at the contents as well.
Oh, God.
And so then before I know it, I think the entire office looked at it.
Oh,
no. And there was one piece of content on here, and it never occurred to any of them that the reason why there was just that single porno was because of the magic trick, not because of, I don't know what the fuck they thought.
Porn.
Yeah, one of the lines that I heard was, you know, the kind of porn that Randy likes.
And at no point did any of these fucking troglodytes at my company stop and think maybe the reason this porno's on there is because she's a magician, god damn it. A magician with a magic trick that I just had to study. It was the Gordian knot that I had to cut. This was my white whale, my Moby Dick. I needed to figure out how she squirted so much fluid. None of them even considered that possibility. Randy, you fucking weirdo. If you came in possession of that USB stick and you saw that porn, would the first thing you think be like, maybe this guy's not jerking off to this? That'd make no sense. Maybe what he's actually doing is trying to study some, magic. But really, that's where the story ends, because then it just once again devolves into a competition for the host to talk over Randy. And it's just a constant feud to say things at each other. But anyway, what a fucking story, Randy. That's wild. Randy Pitchford, more like Randy Pitch a Tent, because this man is carrying porn around all the time, apparently. Fucking crazy. Wild tale, and now all of you out there have a good excuse. If your significant other finds your porn or something, just say, hey, look, I was just trying to learn the method, you know what I mean? Like, I'm onto a big breakthrough here in my magic career. I think it's foolproof. That shit is fucking watertight, bulletproof. And that is an insane fucking story right there. Again, I just wanted to focus on the story you told on this podcast. I don't want to talk about the lawsuit or any of the claims going around there, because I don't know the whole story there. All I know is the whole story from this weird fucking USB stick porn adventure from Randy. So, yeah, Gearbox is still a shit video game company, but god damn it, Randy, I like your story. It's a weird one. Take it easy. See ya. Hi, everyone. A question I get asked a lot is if I script any of my shit. And I don't write scripts for anything. It takes away some of the fun, in my opinion. It doesn't feel as natural when shit's scripted out, so I don't really partake in it. However, occasionally when I think of a story I want to tell, and I tell some Shakespearean tales, so there's, first act, second act, climax, and ejaculation point. So there's a lot of I want to express in a story. So sometimes I'll write down little cliff notes or spark notes on my phone, just as a little reminder to jog my memory of what things I wanted to talk about with the story. And Tiana stumbled across one of my notes. The thing is, she read some of the notes, and I thought it'd be kind of fun to look at a little behind the scenes. So here's the notes I wrote for the story I told a couple days back about how I almost turned Christmas into Shitsmas. Go ahead, Tiana, take it away. Read the notes. Show them a little bit of the creative magic.
Well, he wrote in quotation marks a line for me to say, tell me about your big shit that almost ruined Christmas.
That's a line that starts every good Christmas tale. Took a page out of Robert Frost's playbook on that one.
And then it goes, a Christmas tale Dr. Seuss wouldn't tell you. Not religious wubba-lubba-dub-dub to enlightenment.
That's a very important point I needed to make.
That he shit out all of his Christmas spirit. Didn't mean to disrespect House of Lord, but for just a moment I let the devil into my colon. Santa exercised my I was Santa, and my only present was shit. The toilet will remember that one. Jesus, babe.
I don't think you understood that line. See, the toilet will remember that one is a Telltale Games reference. Oftentimes in those awful games, it would say X will remember that. So I kind of
Oh, like when we played Walking Dead.
Yeah. So instead of like a character remembering some trivial decision you made, it was the toilet remembering me putting fat shits in it.
Grinch shit on Christmas. Grease and whatever found in dumpster slapped between bread, but I was so hungry I'd have eaten an asshole off of a farmer. Her dad pumping ass to church, drifting around corners. Wasn't a church, it was a battlefield.
That one is actually a play off of Alan Wake's ending. You see, when Alan Wake, it's a video game, and when it concluded, he said it's not a lake, it's an ocean. So it only makes sense. You're not an enlightened being.
Oh, sorry, I have to play the game first.
Yeah. It's a fat, beautiful reference, though.
No poop, Christmas miracle. I'm assuming that was the grand finale, the end.
Yeah.
The be all, the end all be all.
That one's closing the chapter on that story. So there's a little behind the scenes look of how that story came to light. I don't do that for every story, but if there's a story I think of and I don't plan on telling it for a little while, I'll write down little notes to remind me of some of the things I wanted to talk about. Comedy is an extremely subjective thing. Everyone's going to find different things humorous. However, there is one universal constant when it comes to comedy, and that is, no matter who you are, every human will laugh when they hear my Boardwalk Burgers joke. It's simply the way humans are programmed. It's embedded deep within our DNA. The top scientists have called this the board burger effect. Now, for those of you who don't know about the board burgers joke, it's a joke that I told on the official podcast, dating back 2 years now. I don't tell it as often anymore because it's simply too powerful of a joke. I don't want to kill one of the guests by making them laugh too hard. Just fucking mid-podcast, their soul explodes because they're having such a hard giggle fit. But I'm not here to just take another victory lap with my magnum opus of comedy. I'm actually here to talk about how Pixar stole that from me and put it in The Incredibles 2 without even asking me or giving me credit for it. I'm going to go ahead and play a clip of the Boardwalk Burgers joke from the official podcast, and we had Zach on, Psychic Pebbles. I've told it to a lot of guests, but I just chose Zach because he was the first one that came to mind with the joke. So that way those of you that don't know it can get familiar with it, and I just hope you're wearing a condom because this shit's going to make your dick come all over the place. Well, Zach, there's a joke of my own creation that I tell on this podcast quite often to guests, because most of the guests we come on here, they like to have a hoot and a holler, pretty much like yourself.
Sure.
So I tell them what I believe is the apotheosis of comedy. And it's a true story, Zach. It's nothing that I'm making up. This isn't me just pulling shit out of my ass. This actually happened in real life. I was driving down I-4. This must have been going on a year now. We've been telling this joke for a while. It's been about a year now. And I was driving down I-4 with my girlfriend, and I saw a sign, an advertisement for this, local little family burger joint called Boardwalk Burgers. Nothing too out of the ordinary, nothing extraordinary at all, just your standard old burger joint, homeless people slapping some patties on the foremans, just a wholesome good time. And with my razor-sharp wit, Zach, I looked at this sign, I looked at it, I analyzed it, and I said, Boardwalk Burgers, more like board burgers, because those burgers aren't having any fun. Now, I hope you finished wiping the tears from your eyes after that zinger. I know, just take your time to compose yourself. It's a real knee slapper. Now, I'm going to show you the scene from The Incredibles 2 that fucking Amy Schumer'd me and stole my joke. This is a scene where Mr. Incredible takes Violet and Dash to the Happy Platter Family Restaurant. Interesting. I don't think it's any coincidence that it also happens to be a wholesome place. Almost reminds you of another wholesome restaurant called Boardwalk Burgers, doesn't it? Interesting. Let's go ahead and take a look at this scene.
Well, this platter doesn't look all that happy to me. It looks bored.
Ha! The bored platter.
Do I even need to say anything? I rest my case. Pixar clearly stole from me. It's very obvious they were inspired by my Board Burgers joke, and I don't blame them, I understand. The Board Burgers joke is the highest level comedy could ever achieve, so I get why they would want to channel that genius into their movie. I get it, I totally understand Pixar, I do, but you can't just take my joke without even giving me credit or compensating me financially. I think it's only fair you'd give me 5% of all ticket sales for the movie. or compensate me in perhaps old school RuneScape gold should you choose to go that route. But this right here is just fucking gross. Just blatant plagiarism. You stole my fucking baby. You came into my house, you saw that I had fallen asleep watching anime, and you said, I'm gonna fuck him in the butthole. And that's what you did. You fucked me in the ass by stealing my joke, Pixar. It's disgusting what you've done here. It's despicable, absolutely despicable. This is supposed to be a movie that preaches some very good values to children, but then now all I see when I look at this movie is preaching the value of stealing. Oh, you want to get somewhere? Go ahead and steal. It's disgusting. It makes me sick to my goddamn fucking stomach. But, yeah. Just wanted to make you all aware that Pixar has stolen from me. They're like the BuzzFeed of animation now, just stealing shit. And I'm upset about it. Good movie, though. See ya. I've actually had this idea for a video for quite some time now, but I kept debating with myself on whether or not it was a good idea to make something about fart porn, and then today I found Harley Quinn farts, and I knew this is what God put me on the earth for.
That jalapeno chili's talking back at me.
Yeah, I feel her on that one. I can't eat jalapeno chili without ending up spreading my ass cheeks in front of my phone camera and blasting farts at it.
Don't be a stinker. I'll be stinking this place up soon enough.
No, you're bluffing. Jesus Christ, Harley, show some mercy. Gotham is doomed. What tremendous foreplay. This could be the end of Batman as we know him, his most powerful adversary yet. Now, obviously, I can't show you the video past this point because then it just becomes ass in the camera, bare ass in the camera, with a pulsating chocolate starfish playing a symphony of flatulence, like this crescendo of farts throughout the rest of the video. So, instead, I'll play the audio, and we can react to it together. Come on, goddammit, I'm ready. Play me a song on that rectum radio.
I'm the worst of the worst. Ooh, wow.
You know, this is my problem when it comes to fart porn. Unrealistic expectations of men in the real world. See, this is all just fantasy. You can't fart like this all the time, ladies. Yeah, you know, a girl will watch this, get super fucking horny, and then she'll have sex with a man, and he can't even fart like this. This kind of paints this unrealistic picture of what fart sex is supposed to be like and sound like. My farts don't sound anything like these wet celebrations of flatulence. Mine sound like very slowly letting the air out of a balloon. My farts are embarrassing. Girls would laugh at my farts if I did these kind of videos in a Harley Quinn cosplay. Now, the only criticism I can really give here, she's doing a great job blowing some farts out here. She truly is absolutely killing it, but I don't like that she laughs about it. It's not supposed to be comedy. This is fart porn. This shit's supposed to be hot. Don't laugh. Don't like shame me because I'm over here jerking off to your farts. All right? Take it seriously a little bit next time, Harley Quinn, please, but keep farting.
My asshole's talking some serious shit right
now. A classic. Truly a classic. That's a line that's gonna echo throughout time. You know, like you got Blade Runner, like Tears Lost in the Rain, and then right underneath that you'll have my asshole's talking some serious shit right now, as Harley Quinn is blowing some fucking fat farts into the camera.
Pay up, B-man. Gas ain't free.
Jesus Christ, hit the deck. That fart had some power behind it. I could fucking feel that one through the computer screen. Nearly threw me back into my seat there in the recoil. This lady has some incredible one-liners. Like, you know, gas ain't free. My asshole's talking some serious shit right now. This shit's gold. This is honestly, it feels like a comic book writer wrote her script. Like, if there was an evil Batman villain that was a fart fetishist, and she was taking down Batman with some fat fucking gnarly farts, these are the one-liners I think they'd actually use. This is fantastic. This shit's all like one take, too. She is a professional. This is just probably the perfect fart porn video. Granted, I haven't seen too many. My horizons haven't really been expanded that much in the world of fart porn or anything, but of the few that I've seen, this one is by far S tier. Whereas all the other fart porns that I've taken a sampling of, a quick little taste test of, they all seem to just want to show the asshole farting, and there's really no art to it. But this is almost like a poetic celebration of what it means to be human and to fart. It's just such a well-made video that'll no doubt bring a tear to your eye and some cum to your penis.
Oh, ooh, them stinkers. Oops. I think I got you in the eye. Ooh. Ooh.
In conclusion, fart porn is art. I rest my case. Thank you. So yeah. Hello, my friends. Happy afternoon to all of you. Christmas season is upon us, as I'm sure we all know, so please don't forget to leave out a joint and lighter and glass of milk for Santa Claus as he wiggles his fat ass down your chimney to deliver your Fortnite skins this year. Today, to get into the Christmas spirit, I thought I'd share a story. It's a story as old as time itself. I'm sure anyone out there can relate to it. It's a story of when I first tried to suck my own penis. All men have tried it. There's two types of men in this world: men who have tried to suck their own cock, and liars. So obviously I have tried before. And I'm pretty sure I've talked about this on the podcast, but I figured I'd make this entire video dedicated to it because I keep getting emails asking if I suck my own penis, and Twitch chat comments how I suck my own penis. So let's just tell the whole story start to finish the way it was written by Homer in the Odyssey. So, to set the stage, I was probably around like 13 or 14, I'm not exactly sure when, and I was just starting to refine my palate and get a taste for what I liked from pornography and titties and stuff on the internet. And during this time I was very religious, so I was kind of fearful and ashamed of watching porn. I thought anytime I even touched my wiener, I was giving God the middle finger and he was ashamed of me and sad and he'd frown, so I didn't do it all that often. But occasionally the mood would strike me right, and I'd Google image search for boobies and butts and vaginas, and, get very excited looking at these things, give it 2 thumbs up, and sometimes even save it to favorites on my folder. But anyway, one particular evening, I was extremely horny. I was Googling boobies left and right. I was like fucking Professor Xavier jacking into Cerebro. I was looking at boobies all over the place. I could see them all over the internet. And man, I was just really fucking feeling myself. I didn't jerk off or anything though, because like I said, I thought jerking off was a bit too far in the eyes of Christianity, and Google Images was tame enough where, I'd be forgiven. So I was looking at these images, and I eventually said, this is enough. I went to the bathroom. I was going to take my shower. I was still sailing full mast. I was hard as a fucking diamond. And man, I was just so horny, I would have fucked my own ass if I could. But anyway, I'm standing there super erect in front of my shower, and I look at my wiener, and I'm like, damn, that's my fucking winky doodle right there. It's going in my mouth. But I was never a flexible guy. I could never throw my legs behind my head and start nibbling on my ball sack or anything. I just was never flexible at any point in my life. But for some reason, I got the idea that I could absolutely accomplish the sucking of my own cock. So I attempted. I get like halfway down, and then I damn near need life alert because I thought I was going to snap my spine in half going for this advanced contortionist move. So I'm just locked in this fucking demonic pose, looking like Schmeagol admiring his precious in Lord of the Rings. And then I start to worry, like, damn, if I die here, the authorities are going to find my body looking like some type of sexual deviant. This is going to be the worst way of going out. I'm not even going to have like a cool going out story. It's just the obituary is going to read, yeah, he died doing what he loved, attempting to blow himself or something like that. He broke himself in half going for a self-blow job. That's not like cool at all. But I still wanted to keep trying. I wasn't deterred. I really thought I could pull it off if I just kept giving it my all. I started to get like anime inspired, like with the power of friendship and by never giving up, resiliency, persistence. And if I get real angry, I'll go Super Saiyan and suck my own dick real quick. So I kept trying. I probably tried for in total maybe like a minute, but it felt like an hour. And it just wasn't happening. I knew it wasn't happening. And then I decided it's time to pee, but I never really adjusted myself. I was still looking at my dick as it was looking at me. We're making eye contact. I was staring down the hole of the one-eyed snake there. And I started to, fire on all cylinders to pee. And it's a little harder to pee with an erection. It takes a little bit longer to travel up the urethra. So I had a little bit of time here. And it wasn't until the pee was about to reach the point of no return where I'm like, damn, I'm about to golden shower myself. My face is looking right down the barrel of this loaded gun. So like a fucking Matrix move or like a superhero move, I start peeing and I dodge it. I lift my head back up and then I just start fountaining it over myself, and I'm safe, I'm dry, I don't get pee in my face or anything, but I almost did. The point I'm making is, yes, I've tried to suck my own dick. It did not go well. God did not bless me with the gift of being able to suck myself off. And I'm sure most men probably can't do it, but there are some select few champions out there that can. And don't let any man tell you they haven't tried. I promise you, nearly every single man on this planet has tried to suck their own penis at one point or another. You don't have to be embarrassed. There's so many of us out there. Come home. Tell your story of sucking your own penis to friends and family to let them know that, yes, you're human. Yes, you've tried. Amen, brother. Take it easy, everyone. See ya. How big is my penis? A question I've been asked millions of times, so much so that it's infiltrated my dreams, where even the figments in my dreams are asking me that question. During every stream I ever do, I'm asked, how big is your wiener? How big is your cock? How big is that womb room? And I make it no secret, I don't hide the fact, that my schlong is 6.5 inches of pure steel, bravery, and courage. So now, again, I'm sure I will continue to be asked it during my Twitch streams. I'll link my Twitch below so that way you too can see how many times I'm asked that question per stream. But this brought up something pretty interesting. Because always the follow-up when I say 6.5 inches pure sledgehammer is that flaccid or erect? And it got me thinking, who the fuck has a 6.5 inch flaccid dick? That is downright unholy. That would be biblical length that would rival God himself as the creator of the universe. That's just downright ridiculous. No, my penis is not 6.5 inches flaccid. I don't think any man's is. I'm sure I'm wrong, but speaking purely biologically, it just doesn't make any sense. The science you can't comprehend how a penis could be 6.5 inches flaccid, soft. It's unreal. So it got me thinking, let's talk about growing versus showing. A grower versus a shower. I am a grower. Now, what is a grower? A grower is a man whose penis is only presentable when it's fully erect at full mast. A shower is a man whose penis is presentable when even when it's soft. It doesn't need to put its makeup on and get in a good mood and stimulated before it can be presented and have people applaud it and be proud about it. However, the majority of men are not showers. I believe it is only 5% of the global population of cock-wielding men are considered showers. That statistic may be wrong. Maybe I just made it up. I'm really not sure, but I'm going to present it as a fact anyway. It's a very small portion of men in the world that are showers. Now, like I said, I'm not a shower, not at all. My flaccid dick is embarrassing. If I get out of a shower and I look at it in the mirror, I feel like a fucking vampire and just wish my reflection wasn't there because I saw my flaccid dick. I never take dick pics, no flaccid dick pics, because I always fear the day that somehow it ended up on the internet and then I'd never be allowed back on the internet just out of pure shame because it's my flaccid dick. The fucking pencil eraser flaccid dick out there. Now, like I said, it gets up to 6.5 inches of steel and bravery. Take my word for it, I swear to God. But up until that point, it is a sad fucking ice cream cone. If my soft penis fell out of my pants in front of an on-duty police officer, he wouldn't even arrest me. He'd feel too bad about it. And the point I'm making here is, let's just go ahead and drop the, when you ask for dick size, is it flaccid or hard? The size the man gives is always going to be when it's performing its best. No man is going to say his flaccid dick size because they're all flaccid dicks are sad. Like, what guy's going to say, yeah, I'm 3 inches soft. Oh, cool. Well, now you've completely lost that person's interest and they think less of you. That's why every time I've ever done the bedroom rodeo, as it's called around the college campuses, I'm not quite too familiar with the term for fucking or anything, but always in the past, I would never let my flaccid dick be seen. I just scramble around the room like Batman who just lost his mask, so now Bruce Wayne's desperately trying to conceal his identity. I do that, but with my dick, making sure that it was not seen in any light whatsoever. So again, why am I bringing this up? Well, to answer the Twitch question that I always fucking get, A, and B, just assume when you ask for dick size that it's being dealt with in erect units. No one's gonna tell you flaccid dick size because they're all fucking small when they're flaccid. Mine, like I said, is around like the 3-inch mark flaccid. Yahoo, yeah. I'm gonna go ahead and give that as my answer to the how big is your dick. I'm gonna tell you it when it's doing its best, which is when it's erect. It's 6.5 inches. Don't forget it. See ya. A couple nights ago, I got pretty fucking shit-faced, absolutely annihilated actually, and I had myself a little bit of a drunk Twitch stream around 2 or 3 a.m. as I've been known to do when I get inebriated. And to dive a little bit deeper into that stream lore, what many of you probably don't know about that stream is after I ended it, I filmed a mukbang video right before bed. Completely fucking forgot I did that, but I looked in my Dropbox yesterday and I saw it there as kind of like a nice little surprise early Christmas present from my drunk self, so I figured I'd share that with you today. And I'm sure some of you have already seen some clips from the drunk Twitch stream I did floating around on like Twitch subreddits and highlights and shit like this one right here. Let me show you a little something here. Like, let's say a cop came up to me and he's like, "Hey son, you been sniffing that alcohol?" I'd be like, "No sir." And he'd say, "Prove it." I'd say, "Alright, what's the test?" And he'd say, "Alright, hop in this Fortnite match and then pop this baby boy in the mouth with the fucking shotgun. Let me show you what I do to him." Maybe I'm a little drunk, I'm sorry officer. But now let's show you behind the scenes. What happened when the webcam turned off and the stream ended? How's it going, elite gamers and mukbang enthusiasts? It's me, the Carb Crusader, the Calorie Cavalier, the Meat Machine, meat in between his legs, the fast food ass dude, me. I'm here with another mukbanger, so let's just get right into it, Muck Squad. If I was Superman, I'd say, fuck Zod. Jesus. So on today's menu, it's Pedialyte. Because I don't want a hangover. Cheers. I bet you're wondering what that tasted like. Tasted like I avoided a hangover. Thanks for tuning into this hardcore mukbang. See ya. Here's a little touching story for all of you from my past. I believe this was in my freshman or sophomore year of high school, and puberty was coming in full swing. My body was changing, I was getting hair on my nutsack, my butthole. My height really wasn't changing. I've pretty much been short my whole life. 5'6" has pretty much been my max level cap. Hopefully soon there'll be a new patch or a new expansion set to this godforsaken world where they can increase my height without having to obliterate my fucking legs in some back alley meth lab. But anyway, that's not really part of the story about me being short. Anyway, I was going through a really hard porn addiction phase. I was an absolute porn fiend, and one day before class, I wanted to see some vagina. I wanted to ejaculate. I wanted to just bust a nut real hard before class. But I couldn't. I watched a lot of porn for the better part of 25 minutes, which for me was a bender and a half. Usually I would have come 3 times during that period back then. But on this cursed day, my well was dried up and I had no more semen left to give my boxers. It's also worth noting as an important detail, during this time I never needed to jerk off. I never even knew how. I'd always just ejaculate after getting an erection, and sometimes I'd try different techniques like slapping it around or something to see if that helped the sensations or anything, but I never really jerked off. That's the point here. I could ejaculate using just the power of my intellect and euphoric gamer senses. I was able to just propel cum when I was stimulated visually or mentally. Alright, so now take that little nugget of wisdom and put it in your back pocket and save it for trivia night. It's going to play a major role in the plot a little further down the line in this story. So I wanted to stay home and just ejaculate because I thought something was wrong with me. I thought my dick stopped working or God banned me from ejaculating. I just thought something was awry, and I wanted to stay home, but my parents wouldn't let me because that day we had a school play to perform. It was Hamlet, and I was playing the role of fucking P. Diddy. Who's the character with the P in his name? Palpatine? Jesus, it's definitely not fucking Palpatine. I'm not playing Chancellor Palpatine or anything like that. It's like Polonius. I was playing Polonius, and he gets stabbed, and I guess that's like crucial to the story maybe. So I couldn't miss it. My parents didn't want me to miss it. They'd already planned on going to see it, so I couldn't skip school that day to ejaculate. Plus, that's not exactly a strong reason. I was very forward with why I didn't want to go to school. I was telling my parents, look, I just want to come. No sane parents can be like, you know what, that's a good excuse, Harold. Let's not send him to school today. So I get sent to school. I go through school per usual, and the play was supposed to take place right after school ended. So, yeah, I was able to push back the desire to ejaculate and all that for the entire school day and up till the play, and I was rehearsing my lines or my actions. And all of a sudden, all at once, it was like a light switch went off. It was like I was having a fucking Jimmy Neutron brain blast in like the costume room, and all I was seeing was porn. Like my eyes just rolled into the back of my head, and all I was looking at was porn. Like I was Professor Xavier who just jacked into Cerebro, and I was seeing all of the porn that I'd ever seen in my life all at once. And I got hard as a fucking rock. And I knew that was dangerous because, like I said earlier, I never needed to like physically stimulate myself to ejaculate. So I'm sitting there in my Polonius costume on the verge of just blowing a hard load into it right before going on stage, and I'm panicking because we're about to perform this play and I have some shit I gotta do in the play. Like I'd hate to be the guy that gets stabbed in the play, the curtain rolls back, and then all of a sudden I'm just laying on the floor with a boner and a wet spot in front of the whole school and all the school's parents. That'd be terrifying for all of them and myself. So I'm trying to brainstorm ideas. I didn't want to just go blow a load into the toilet because that thought never really occurred to me then. So my plan was to just start chugging water as quickly as I could and just try and pee out my erection. I thought that would work if I just kept urine flowing the best I could. I only had like T-minus 20 minutes till showtime. So I killed like 2 water bottles, and the plan worked. I was able to like basically piss out all of my boner, and I was able to perform the play the best I could. But the lesson here is no half measures. If you feel like you need to ejaculate, then fucking do it. Get it out of the way, because you never know when it might come back to haunt you. You might be in the middle of a school play, and then all of a sudden you're spitting out baby gravy into your costume and trying not to cry in front of the whole class. Just don't edge for like 9 hours. Just get it done, get it over with, and then be productive for the rest of the day. That's the lesson. I guess the lesson is quite literally jerk off if you need to. That's it. So yeah. A question I've been getting asked a lot recently that I wanted to publicly talk about is, why have I been making videos insulting children's content? I'm a full-grown man. I'm not no snot-nosed multiplication table learning little bitch. I'm a full-grown fucking man who understands multiplication for the most part. I know I may have the height of a toddler who's just now hitting puberty and maybe has a bit of a calcium deficiency, but alas, I am still a hairy-dicked, hairy-assholed man. So why am I insulting children's content? It's clearly not geared towards me. Well, the reason is it's shitty content. Yeah, that goes without saying. It's not exactly brave to insult the children's content on YouTube. Saying family-friendly YouTube content is bad and shitty is like saying one-ply toilet paper is evil. Everybody already knows that. The main reason I target the douchebags that make the content geared towards children is because they aim to exploit the children. They always pretty much demand that they hit the like button, or else they're not a real fan and they'll never be their friend, and they're never going to have a girlfriend, and no girls are ever going to show them nipples or anything. They make it seem like you're a loser if you don't hit the like button for them. And the content aims to set a very bad example to children who are very impressionable. So you have people like Rice Gum, and I always use him as an example for this type of shit because he's truly the poster child for being a micro-penised douchebag who just throws his success in the face of his fans and spits on them. And you have people like him who incentivize these children to hit the like button and comment and join the family, and they make it seem like you're not gonna be successful or cool if you don't emulate that type of behavior. So you have these children that look at Rice Gum and want to be like him, aspire to be like him, so they start acting like him, a huge piece of shit. So then you have a whole bunch of children growing up to try and become a piece of shit. Being an uneducated fucking loser is now the cool thing to do because you have people on the platform of YouTube showing how successful you can be by being that way. And I honestly just have no respect for this group of people at all. Every adjective you could ever use when describing a piece of gum that's stuck to the bottom of a urinal is an adjective that would also apply to this group of douchebag YouTubers that exploit children. All in all, they're just the worst possible role models. Like fucking Jake Paul made that song about fuck teachers. Fuck teachers, yeah, what a great positive message. Fuck teachers, a message delivered from Jake Paul, who can hardly even speak English. A man who offers nothing to the world and has just barely enough brain power to keep himself from drooling 24/7. Yeah, fuck teachers, what a great fucking message to send. I'm not exactly the type of guy that's always like, think of the children, we need to ban swear words because kids might hear them and burn down a church because they heard those bad words. Pornography needs to go, that's so unholy, kids might find that, think of the children. Bitch, if pornography didn't exist, the world would be in flames by now. We would have lost the ozone layer 20 years ago. Pornography saved humans. Can't ban that shit. But when talking about this platform, I do think when you have these douchebags who make content solely to exploit children for their own financial gain, that's something you really need to think about and take a look at. So why I choose that type of content to shit on so frequently is because, well, it's really just bad content that's fun to shit on, and also, I feel like it's rightfully so. It's a target that, there's no passion behind. It's a bad person who's making it, and they're doing it for malicious intent. Why wouldn't you want to make fun of that, or at least show people this type of shit and make people aware of what's going on, so that way maybe somebody who sees it and has a younger brother or a son or a daughter that maybe watches this type of shit, maybe sit them down and be like, hey, you can watch this type of shit, but just, I hope you don't end up like this, you know what I mean? Because it's bad. Nobody likes those kind of people in the world. Yeah, I guess it might be cool to children online to see that type of success and that attitude, but in the real world, nobody likes that. It's a hard news flash, and I'm sorry to splash you with that cold pee-pee water, but nobody likes those people. I'm 100% sure Rice Gum doesn't act like that in the real world like he does online, because he wouldn't have any friends. He wouldn't have anybody still in his life. But kids, they don't know that. They probably think that rice gum is just like that in the real world. A real fucking lit savage who goes around slapping homeless people with $100 bills, laughing as he does it, and then brushing the ass crack of strippers with cocaine. They will look at that and think, okay, so that attitude has clearly got him a lot of success with this nice house and all this money. I'm gonna do that too. And then they will, and they'll wonder why they're all alone. A lot of people probably think I'm just talking out of my ass, like, oh yeah, I'm sure all the kids understand that it's just an act and they're not just being used, but I mean, they very clearly are being used. You can tell by the way the douchebags act about it, but we'll disregard that. It doesn't mean they're going to be bad people because they look up to these bad people as role models. I can give you a very easy counterexample. The KSI vs. Logan Paul fight, all of their fans were the most destructive fans I'd seen in quite a while. They were worse than some soccer fans. There was those videos of literal riots about the KSI vs. Logan Paul fight. Both of them have content aimed at children. Both of them are douchebags, and they have been doing this for a while. So they've had an audience of children following them through their formative years. And look how they turned out, judging by their public appearance at the fight conferences, where they had actual riots and destruction of property and fucking public urination and defecation charges and shit. They're becoming bad people. And I'm not going to blame, Logan Paul and KSI solely for that. A lot of it falls onto the parents. But as you can see, there's clearly at least some type of correlation here between looking up to bad people and how you start to turn out and what kind of persona you start to take on, what kind of mask you wear. It's just bad. When you have content that's geared towards just exploiting people and acting like a douchebag for money and views and likes, you're going to have people that try and emulate that and take on that in the real world, and that fucking sucks. Nobody likes those people. So I choose shitty, family-friendly, exploitative content to insult and shit on because it's bad content that's fun to insult. And in my eyes, if I can at least show people why the person is a douchebag, that's a big win because it makes more people aware, and maybe even the douchebag in question, they're not going to change, never mind. But yeah, it at least makes people aware that they're a big old fucking douchebag, so that's good. It helps raise awareness and shit. So yeah, that's it. So yeah. Good afternoon, class. It's me again, Professor Wetty and Ready. So please put away your fleshlights and take out your notebooks because it's time for another lesson. Today's topic: is monosodium glutamate the worst thing human beings have ever created, 10 times worse than the invention of the atomic bomb? Was the Manhattan Project actually a government cover-up to hide the truth from the people? That the government was cooking up monosodium glutamate in those laboratories? So let's just get right into this shit. MSG, I'm sure you've heard of it, monosodium glutamate. It's become the boogeyman of the food industry. If you've ever looked at a food package, even glanced at it, there's a good chance you've seen MSG free on it. For some reason, the general population believes that you need to stay far, far away from MSG. It's the bully on the food playground that's gonna kick sand in your ice cream cone. It's gonna give you headaches, heartburn, cancer. It's gonna throw you in prison. It's gonna fuck you up for the long term if you eat even one thing with even the littlest trace amount of MSG in it. So food companies have come to understand that people will not buy products with MSG in it because of this fear of it. So what they do is they say, we've taken the MSG out. This is an MSG-free product. But now I'm going to throw this cold water on you and hit that tip of your penis with this lightning bolt of facts. The MSG is still in those products. They just hide it in other ingredients. So on the package, you'll see MSG free on it. But if you turn it over and look at the ingredients and see tomato powder or yeast extract, that's MSG. They're hiding MSG in those ingredients, and that's totally legal, that's totally by the books. Now, if you've already thrown up because you've ingested MSG and now you're panicking, don't, because the fear of MSG is pretty unfounded, and I want to talk about it. So let's start with the basics. Monosodium glutamate was created in 1908. Why did it make its way into food? It wasn't an accident. It's not just because they wanted to make it unhealthy or something like that. A lot of people seem to believe that a lot of the ingredients in modern food are useless and they serve no purpose other than making them unhealthy. But that's bullshit. Everything in there has a purpose. It's not like they're just mindlessly tossing shit in there for no reason. Like, oh, hey, Gary, why don't you take that handful of mulch and just toss it into the Lay's formula? Righto, Frank, would you like this Windex bottle in there as well? Why not? Everything in the modern food has a purpose. Monosodium glutamate has a purpose. Its purpose is to enhance flavor, mainly umami, which is one of the 5 basic tastes. Umami is savory. So now you know why it's used, but what is MSG? Well, its name implies it's the product of sodium and glutamate. What is glutamate? Glutamate's a non-essential amino acid, and that's found in fucking everything. You can't go outside without basically breathing glutamate. It's in all your foods, 100% in all of them. MSG is made from the fermentation of starches, and speaking chemically, there's no difference between the glutamate in MSG and the glutamate in just every other food. Only difference being MSG is a little bit easier for your body to access. Now let's get to why everyone seems to think MSG is the worst thing in the world for your body and that you're better off just popping cyanide capsules as opposed to having any amount of MSG in your body. It all stems from the fact that glutamate is an excitatory neurotransmitter, meaning it excites nerve cells, and that MSG leads to an excessive amount of glutamate in the brain, which can cause damage. Thus, it was given the name an excitotoxin. Then in 1969, there was a study conducted to show that MSG was harmful by injecting MSG into newborn mice, and it showed neurological effects that were harmful, as you would expect from fucking injecting MSG like a heroin addict. In 1996, there was a book called Excitotoxins: The Taste That Kills, published by Dr. Russell Blaylock, and in this book he basically just says that an excessive amount of glutamate can destroy nerve cells, and not just in your brain, just in general. And that's a true statement, yeah. But that's kind of fucking obvious, because if you megadose on anything it can cause harmful effects. You can fucking die from drinking too much water, so obviously megadosing on something is going to cause some harmful effects. However, dietary MSG, the MSG that you ingest through eating shit with MSG in it, has little to no effect on the human brain because it can't cross the blood barrier in large amounts. So then why, when you tell someone MSG isn't bad, that they damn near slap you in the face because they have had a personal experience with MSG where their entire family was eradicated due to that MSG menace? Well, actually, that's kind of true. It didn't kill your family or anything. It didn't do anything super harmful, but it is true you can have a sensitivity to MSG. There's studies that have confirmed that some people just have an inclination to have some negative effects to it. Nothing too severe, just a bit of nausea and headaches and some flushing of the face, but enough to where you'd be like, alright MSG, fuck you. Another thing that's often associated with MSG is obesity. If you even touch MSG, you're gonna gain 5 pounds immediately. And really, there's just no decisive conclusion on this one, because some studies say that it fills you up faster, thus you're not going to eat as much. Others say the exact opposite, so it's really split. However, if you want my opinion on it based on the research I've read, I think it does increase the likelihood of gaining weight because the foods with MSG are typically the junky foods that you're going to have a hard time putting down. Thus you're going to eat more of, thus you're going to gain weight. However, one thing's for sure, MSG itself doesn't put pounds on your body. It just makes things taste better. Now just to wrap it all up, MSG is not fucking bad for you. The fear of MSG is completely irrational and based on pretty much nothing in my opinion. For some reason it's just become the accepted norm in our society where if you don't recognize what's on the ingredients label that it's inherently bad for you. Oh, green grass is in this bag of seaweed. Okay, I've seen green grass. This must be healthy and natural. Oh my god, what the fuck is this monosodium glutamate? Jesus Christ, it's the root of all my problems. All of a sudden you get fired from your job and you go outside screaming, God damn you MSG, as you shake your fist into the air. It's not inherently bad just because you don't understand it, so I hope I've helped you understand it a bit better. All of this being said, I would say avoid MSG. Not because MSG is bad, but just because the food it's found in is bad for you food. And even if you do swear off of MSG, but you're still going to eat like some shitty junk food, just know you're still ingesting MSG. It's just not labeled as MSG. I'm not trying to send you to bed with nightmares of the monosodium glutamate menace or anything, I'm just letting you know. Again, a massive thanks to Zeno for this animation. The dude is an unmatchable mountain of masculinity, so go check out Zeno's channel, subscribe to Zeno, all that good shit, because the man truly deserves it. He's mastered the art of animation. He had to turn down Pixar 100 times because I wouldn't stop begging for him to be on board, but you know what he said? He said, no, I'm too good for Pixar. And he is. He's actually got animating down to a science, so definitely go check him out. See ya. Welcome to another riveting story time from my compendium of social ineptitude. Today's story takes place during high school when I thought breakdancing was the dopest shit. I used to think breakdancers were society's alpha males that couldn't walk 5 steps in public without falling penis first into a consenting vagina. So what I wanted to do is I wanted to learn to be a b-boy, an ultimate breakdancing Chad, to impress girls. Keep in mind, this was about a decade ago, so there was movies coming out that focused on breakdancing and how cool it was. The one that had the biggest impact on me was called You Got Served. That movie was like my Eye of the Tiger. I would throw that shit on religiously to get myself pumped up and motivated, start pumping testosterone into my dick like, yeah, alright, I'll start serving people soon, I can do this. So I'd watch a shitload of shitty Expert Village tutorials on breakdancing till I got to a point where I was like, I'm confident, I can do this in front of people now and it'll be really cool. Spoiler alert, I was never actually good at it and it was never cool, but that didn't stop me. Every single school dance function from probably freshman year of high school to senior year of high school, I would be that fucking sociopath on the dance floor during the first song, busting it wide open. You know, like at all the dances like homecoming and shit, the first song nobody's on the dance floor because it's not cool? Well, I'd fucking cherish that moment. I would charge that dance floor like a football team storming the stadium field. I was all about that first song life. And this was during the time where The Jerk was popular. Well, not really. It was kind of on its way out anyway. But I was still trying to hold on to that glory of The Jerk. So I had this little routine that I would do at every dance function, every single fucking one of them. And unfortunately, I still remember kind of the beginning of it. So I'm going to give you a little sneak preview of what it looked like. Breakdancing. I know, ladies, just leave your sodden panties in the dirty clothes and wash them later. What you just saw right there, what you just bore witness to, was a body wave into a 6-step combination, a little groundwork that I tossed in there for flair, then the jerk tacked on at the end. A combination move only fit for the most elite b-boy gods out there. Now, at the time, this was 10 years ago, I was far more limber, so I could go from the kneeling position to the standing position without fucking blowing up my meniscus. Now is a different story. I can't exactly do it as well as I did back then, but in a nutshell, that's kind of what it looked like back then too, honestly. And let me tell you, it wasn't cool. I don't think that routine I came up with will ever be cool. If I'm wrong, please, some b-boys out there, make it better and send it to me. I'd love to see how that could possibly be improved, because in my eyes, that's as good as breakdancing gets. And they didn't appreciate it. So my high school just didn't really have a taste for the finer breakdancing things, because no girls ever thought that was cool, surprisingly. And let's fast forward. So I do that at all the dances. It never really got me anywhere or anything, and I never changed the routine. That was about the extent of it. That was my breakdancing prowess on full display. That was me sailing at full mast, full erection, red alert, and nobody gave a shit. It wasn't cool to them, and it clearly just objectively is not a very good routine. But let's fast forward to senior year. I'm still doing that routine, and I finally worked up the courage to ask a girl for her number, and she humored me by actually giving it to me. She was clearly not interested, but that didn't stop good old b-boy Charile from trying. So in order to try and get her genuinely interested in at least like kissing me on the cheek or asking me to tie her shoes or something romantic like that, I would send her videos of me doing routines like that. But I didn't have any friends to videotape that because no one was that close to me. In fact, I don't think any of my friends would do that now because it's just embarrassing. So what I would do is I would have my dad take videos of me doing breakdancing like you just saw, except by senior year I was a little bit better. So I was able to do like kind of head spins. I couldn't do like a head spin without supporting myself with my hands. So I could kind of just like walk my head around very slowly. And I would have my dad videotape that. It'd be like a 2-minute video of me just walking my head around slowly like that on the floor. And I would send her that. And she was such a fucking sweetheart. She would send me things like, "That's so cool," or "rad." Just, man, it was pathetic. Genuinely pathetic. So I'd continue to do this. And then she stopped replying. That's how that story ends. So, in a nutshell, I still think, power moves and breakdancing are cool as shit. I can't do them. My body just wasn't made for that type of activity. But I respect the men who can, and I still think that's cool. But the lesson here is, if you're not good at breakdancing, don't try. Don't use it to impress people. Definitely don't do it at parties or at bars or at school dance functions or anything. Just keep it to yourself. And definitely don't have your father videotape them, because that's equally as embarrassing. And trust me, I wasn't shy about telling her who videotaped that. I said, look at what my dad just filmed me doing, like it was some type of candid photo shoot or shot. So, the lesson here, just, don't be a fucking idiot, I guess. There's really no lesson here. I don't think there's a lot of people out there that are trying to breakdance to impress girls in 2018. Now it's all about your Fortnite wins. But even if there is still that splinter cell of dudes out there that are blood, sweat, and tears pouring cum into the breakdance art, make sure you're really good at it before you show anyone that shit. Trust me. It'll save you a lot of embarrassment. See ya. Many of you have been sleeping soundly, ignorant to the fact that history is unfolding right in front of our fucking eyes right now. In front of us, we are graced with the most beautiful gaming disaster we've ever seen. Somewhere out there right now, Cliff Bleszinski has the hardest boner he's had since 2006, because the absolute failure, the unmatchable catastrophe of the Culling 2's launch makes Lawbreakers look like a triumphant success, the fucking Citizen's Kane of gaming in comparison to the Culling 2. In just a short 19 hours after it's launched, it is down to one active player, with an average of 21.5, which is not even enough to start a single round because you need 30. So at no point can you ever even play this abominable fucksucker of a game, because there's just not enough people playing it. For those who don't know, the Culling 1 is probably the first Battle Royale game that was ever invented, and it was an alright game. I enjoyed it, it was fine. But they killed the game, they kept making changes nobody wanted, so it drove the players away. In response to that, they abandoned it, and instead what they did is they released this photo on Twitter to hype up the Culling 2. Then they released the trailer on Monday. On Tuesday they released the game, and now today, on Thursday, as of making this video, the game is absolutely 100% dead. Now, it's not a free game, it's actually got a pretty hefty price tag, especially since what you're essentially buying is a pile of dog shit, but I paid for this because I wanted to be part of this history. I wasn't born in time to become an astronaut and go on the Apollo 11 mission to be one of the first men to walk on the moon, but this is a close second place. I can be part of this history. Let's check out the customization here. I bet it's really fucking thorough to the point where I can customize the number of pubic hair on her vagina. Look at these eyelashes. Looks like they're eating her face. Let's see what other goodies Santa Claus has brought us here. Look at all these hair options. This looks... whoop. I don't have enough V-Bucks for that one. Let's hit it and shit it. It's game time. Or rather, lack of game time. Try a solo match. See if I can at least find the other man wandering this barren wasteland. I'm in. I'm now part of history. Steam's loneliest multiplayer game. The fastest dead game. It warms my heart to see an obvious cash grab like this fail so spectacularly. Such an uninspired game. Oh. Look at this. In the game design room at this studio's headquarters, they'd cooked up this beautiful football stadium, imagining hundreds of players flooding in. And now look at it. It's so empty. Just what it deserves. Earn your medals. More like earn your players with a better game, you fucking nerds. This is amazing. This is absolutely fantastic. Even the other active player right now is either sitting in the menu or sitting in a duo's lobby or squad lobby. I don't know, but I'm gonna find out. It is now my mission for the next maybe 15 minutes to try and find the other guy. This is just a surreal experience right now. I feel like one of those explorers that go into dilapidated insane asylums and amusement parks and film it. This shit is amazing. If I didn't tell you this game just came out, you wouldn't have believed me. This shit was dead on arrival. A literal stillborn game. I've never seen something like this happen, and let alone be able to experience it like this firsthand. Look at this. It's like they put this vantage point here so you could overlook the emptiness. This is where Squidward should have gone when he wanted to be all alone. Let me try duos to see if I can match up with the other brave warrior scouting these fields. I bet the other guy's one of the developers just sitting in the lobby in the fucking nightmare he's created with his face in his hands, thinking, this abhorrent creation. It's my doing. I'm the Frankenstein to this monster. Now I am become shit developer. This is the fate we chose. This is so fucking crazy. I mean, honestly, I couldn't have imagined this game flopping as hard as it did. I didn't think anything could ever beat Lawbreakers' dead game speedrun until the Culling 2. This game has an uncontested and probably unbeatable world record for the fastest dead multiplayer video game. Now, you can cheat and like point out some indie games that were released and no one had heard of them before, but this game follows the first big Battle Royale game. It's the sequel to one of the first Battle Royale games, and look what happened to it. Holy shit, it's amazing. This is the perfect example, the epitome of lazy cash grabs, and it gets the fate it deserves. You can't be happier about it. Radical Heights had more passion behind it than this game. I am so elated at the fact that this game is as dead as it is. This is going to serve as an example to all game developers out there who hop on the latest trend as quickly as they can to cash in on it as quickly as they can, that it doesn't always work, and sometimes you end up with the culling too. And that's something that I don't think anyone out there wants. I'm not going to find the other guy. He's probably just sitting in the main menu regretting his $20 purchase, or probably as we speak he's going for a Steam refund. I don't blame him. I'm actually probably going to do the same. I can't even play the game. I genuinely can't even get into the game. What an amazing disaster. Thank you, Culling 2 developers. I don't even know the name of your studio, but I know the name of your product now. And that's gotta count for something. Anime is a word that inspires confusion, fear, and boners. On the surface, it's just another form of entertainment, but what it actually is a weapon. And like all weapons, there's the potential for misuse. This is the story of how I misused anime in my first year of college, and potentially led the entire student body to believe that I was some type of fucking lunatic who was one bad Naruto episode away from crashing his car into the side of the on-campus gym. It all started in high school. I was pretty reclusive, I didn't go out much, but I did watch a lot of anime, and it taught me two very important lessons. The first being, the power of friendship is the strongest force in the universe that not even God himself can compete with. Friendship probably led to the Big Bang creating our fucking universe. The second lesson being, the mysterious guy is always the coolest guy that big-titted girls want to fuck, and smaller-titted girls want to fuck. And I really took that lesson to heart, and I super shouldn't have. Absolutely not. But I did. And what happened is, as I graduated high school, I realized that college was my chance to really reinvent myself and change what people think about me, my perception, because no one knows about me. In high school, everyone knew me because I went to a small school, so I couldn't exactly just kick down the door one day sporting a leather jacket and riding a Harley Davidson and have everyone think I was super cool all of a sudden. They'd probably just think I was possessed by the spirit of a 40-year-old father going through his midlife crisis. But in college, nobody knew me, so I could be anything I wanted to be. And man, I wanted to be the anime mysterious guy. And holy shit did it lead to a very embarrassing and lonely first year of my college. So my college anime opened up with an incredible season opener, just a beautiful introduction. On move-in day, the literal first time setting foot in college soil, being an adult, a full-grown, full-hairy, penised adult on a college campus. On move-in day, I had my dad helping me. And going to my dorm, moving in the elevator, there was a girl and her father who were moving in there on the same floor. And my dad was talking to her dad and her a little bit. I didn't say a word. I was too cool to say a word. My dad tried to throw me into the conversation. So he asked me a real softball question that even a toddler could fumble his way through. I don't remember exactly what he asked me, but it was something like, "Oh, are you excited to move into this dorm, Charlie?" And I'll never forget my response because I remember this verbatim. I said, "You know I can't talk about that, Dad." I don't know why I said that. I guess in my head I thought that she would think that was super fucking dope, like I was some type of super secret agent that can't talk about his opinions. But really it just came across like, wow, this is a guy that I should be afraid of. But at the time, it didn't register with me like that was a weird thing to say. I went through the rest of that day being really proud of that, like, damn, fucking nailed it in the elevator. College is gonna be great. I just expected, like, if we saw each other in the hallway, she'd just be overcome with ecstasy and just charge me like, "Charlie, son," and then give me a smooch on my smoochers. But in reality, as you can imagine, that never happened. And that was really just setting the tone for the rest of that entire year for me. I wanted to, and luckily Kaya talked me out of it, I wanted to put an Xbox disc of Psychonauts around a chain on my neck, so that way people would know that I like Psychonauts. It's not exactly mysterious because I'm kind of beating you on the urethra with, I like this, I'm clearly wearing it. But I was like, this is so different. This is totally what an anime guy would do, like the mysterious guy. Another thing that I wanted to do, and Kaya again talked me out of it, he really saved me from having an even more catastrophic freshman year of college, is I wanted to carry around a deck of cards and do magic tricks at house parties or just around campus to really make people be like, damn, that was cool. I need that guy's number. Who was that guy? That guy's super cool. Let's invite the magic deck guy back, the magic card trick guy. That super awesome and fun guy. I didn't end up doing that, but I did used to do some magic tricks at house parties, which is still embarrassing, but the cards were already there. I didn't bring them or like come up to people, "Hey, you want to see a fucking magic trick?" They were at least there. It made sense at the time. But bringing them around like a mysterious guy, keeping them in like a Ziploc bag, there was no coming back from that. If I went down that destructive path, I'd probably be behind bars right now just from scaring the general populace. Like, what is this guy up to with this deck of cards? This is a maniac. Get him off the streets, this menace. But now let's talk about the things that the social savior Kaya wasn't able to prevent me from doing. One of the biggest ones that I can remember is I used to go to clubs because I obviously wasn't really getting invited to house parties. Because who's going to want to invite the guy who doesn't talk because he thinks it's cool not to? Like, I would blatantly just avoid answering questions in class. If I got called on, I'd just blow it off like, oh, yeah. I wouldn't even give like a yes or a no. I wouldn't be like no, I don't know the answer. I wouldn't even give the answer. I'd just be like, oh, yeah. Just like fucking mumble it out like I was fucking overdosing on Xanax. So obviously no one was going to come out of their way to invite me to a house party. No one got to know me my freshman year. So I'd go to clubs by myself. And one time, it was New Year's, and I had these light up New Year's glasses. And they were some pretty fucking cool glasses, not going to lie. And I was wearing them around my neck because they were so bright I couldn't really see. I was basically just flashbanging myself when I was wearing them normally with the lights going on and shit. So I had them around my neck. And this girl came up to me and started talking to me about them. And instead of like answering any of your questions, I was playing it the same way I did everything else. I just didn't say a word. She said something about my glasses, but she fucked up and called them a necklace. She said something like, I like your necklace. That's a cool necklace. They're glasses. How dare you fuck that up? But anyway, I just disregarded it and I stared at her blankly. Like a fucking robot whose programming just malfunctioned, or I just fell asleep standing up. But she kept trying to get me to talk to her, get me to open up. That goddamn hero, that trooper, she just kept really trying to pry me open, but it just wasn't happening. Getting me to talk and not be mysterious in my freshman year of college would be like trying to open up a dumpster and not have a wave of shit hit your nostrils. But she kept trying. She pulled out her shirt saying, do you like my shirt? And it said something like, short girls know how to have fun or something like that, or something to that extent. And I glanced at it and then I immediately went back to staring at her without commenting on the shirt or even saying a word. I didn't make a noise. I didn't even make like a caveman grunt, like a Tim Allen. I didn't do anything. I didn't make a single audible noise. So I was basically just a fucking statue there. She tried again. She said something else about my necklace, and this time it must have just struck a chord because I remember I pulled them off of my neck slowly and I put them on my eyes, and then I flicked them on the next setting, which was like this intense, glowing, like strobe light shit, like some blinding, banging strobe light shit. And then she walked away. I still didn't say anything because I just put them on my eyes and then turned that setting on and kept staring at her. So I don't blame her for walking away. And that was really when it hit me like, maybe being the mysterious weirdo isn't going to pay off. But I still committed to it. I still kept going past that. That was New Year's, and we still had another 5 or so months of me being an odd, weird, anime-inspired, mysterious loser. There's really no other big events that really stick out to me. Just a bunch of small stuff that I kept doing throughout the entirety of my freshman year. Like if it was raining and everyone was like, oh fuck, it's raining and I forgot my umbrella, I'm just gonna wait it out. I'd walk right by them, just kind of like wiggle my way through them, and then I'd just walk out in the rain like I didn't give a shit, like I didn't even know it was raining. Like I'd pull out my phone, much to the detriment of my phone, just be like, oh, rain? Too mysterious to feel rain. I really don't know why I ever thought walking out in the rain looking like some kind of dumb asshole would be cool or mysterious, because it doesn't fit either category, but that was another thing I'd partake in almost every time it rained. The only other big event that I can really think of, one that I still think about and it keeps me up at night and really haunts my boners to this day, is when I took an art therapy course towards the second semester of my freshman year. I don't remember exactly what it was. It wasn't art therapy, but it was something similar. It was just an art class basically where you express yourself. And I thought it would be amazingly mysterious and really get girls' panties super fucking wet, just sodden panties being tossed at me. Is every assignment I tried to make it as dark and bland as possible. So one of the assignments being, what do you think of your friends? You were supposed to do one about 12 friends. You make a drawing to represent each friend. And for mine, I did the same thing for all of them. It was a black box. I don't know why I don't know what at all was my thought process with that, but I just did 12 black boxes to represent all of my friends. And when I was supposed to present it, I gave them each a name, and I did name 12 friends. I'm kind of more acquaintances. I didn't really have any like super close friends or anything, but I did name 12 people that I knew and who also knew of my existence. And that just made me seem like I belonged in an insane asylum looking back on it. But at the time I was like, oh, girls love the troubled artist, the mysterious troubled artist. This is beautiful. There's going to be tears in their eyes. I already know it. I'm going to get an A on this project. Spoiler alert, I didn't get an A because she thought I just blew it off and goofed on it, so I got a D because I at least turned something in. But even still, I drew 12 black boxes. That's some shit that you see in a horror movie, like when the weird kid's scribbling shit on paper in a black crayon, and then you find out that the kid's actually a demon. That's that kind of shit that I presented to the class, and there's no doubt in my mind those students walked away deeply disturbed and afraid of me from that moment on. So, that's how I spent the entire first year of my college experience, emulating the anime mysterious guy. It wasn't until I moved out of my dorm and in with a new group of guys who put the kibosh on that shit and taught me how to be social, because they did not want to be living with some fucking weirdo that's trying to be an anime mysterious guy. So that's kind of that's how my first year of college went. The lesson to take away from this is don't emulate what you see on anime, because it's just not gonna fucking work unless you have some like superpowers that you might like, some really fucking cool superpowers. You might be able to get away with being weirdly mysterious, but I didn't. The only superpower I had was being below average male height. But if you have some cool superpowered shit, maybe you can emulate anime to some extent and still be cool, but I couldn't. But I wouldn't recommend it to most people, the non-superpowered people out there. To the people that aren't X-Men, don't try and be an anime mysterious guy. Don't be weird. That's it. See ya. It's been a couple of years since I've done one of these, but welcome to Season 2 of Man with a Useless College Degree Teaches Shit He Learned While Obtaining His Useless Degree. Starring me, Professor Wetgood. Now please, class, take your seats and get ready, because I'm about to make your minds ejaculate. Today's subject, keto diets. What are ketogenic diets? How do they work? Can you do a ketogenic diet while playing Fortnite? Will Fortnite run for president? All of these questions will be answered in today's lesson. I'm sure the majority of you are at least familiar with the name keto diet without maybe understanding exactly what it is, but it's really been quite the fad. It's been all over the media. It's just been lighting that bitch up. People have been promoting the health benefits for a couple of years now, and it's really starting to catch on. So let's go ahead and start. Keto is short for ketogenic. I'm sure every third grader in the world could put that fucking puzzle together, but it's worth mentioning. Ketogenic is referring to the state your body enters when you go on this sort of diet. Your body goes into a state called ketosis. Ketosis gets its name because your body in this state produces something called ketones. Now, how do you get your body to the state of ketosis? You severely restrict your carb intake, you keep your protein intake moderate, you don't want to go too high, but you do want to go hard on your fats. Now, let's say every morning you get up and you just can't function properly without your breakfast fettuccine alfredo to jumpstart your morning. For lunch, you get a Subway sandwich, and for dinner, you chow down on some fried rice. Well, A, you're a fucking monster for going to Subway for your sandwich. You might as well pick up a scoop of dirt on your way to work and eat that. There's more flavor there than in one of those sandwiches. And B, you'd have to cut that shit out. You'd have to completely change the way you eat, because that right there is far too many carbs. The sweet spot for a ketogenic diet is anywhere from 20 to 50 grams of carbs per day, depending on what research you're looking at. Some people can get up to 100 grams a day and still get into a state of ketosis, but that's very rare. It all depends on your body type, but typically 20 to 50 grams a day is that golden spot where you're getting some nice rim jobs and seeing great results. Now you know how to get into the state of ketosis, but why would you want to? So when your body's in this state of ketosis, it produces what's called ketones. And in the absence of carbs, your body can't use glucose as its main energy source anymore. Thus, it starts producing ketones to replace it as the main energy source. Is glucose bad? Is it the worst thing in the world? Did it shoot your parents and fuck your wife? No, it didn't. Fuck no, it's fine. But the problem is when you eat something like, let's say, a fucking coconut and Nutella birthday cake, I'd rather eat asshole than that, but let's say you took a bite of that, what this does is it gives you a lot of glucose that your body now needs to use, and if you don't use it all, like let's say you don't run fucking 5 miles to burn all that shit off, it gets stored because your body didn't need it, so it stores it as adipose, which is fat. So now you know that using glucose as your primary energy source is fine, but if you don't use all the glucose, there's a good chance you're going to start gaining some adipose tissue. So how are ketones different, and why do we prefer to use them instead of glucose? Well, first of all, ketones come from the breakdown of fat in the liver. So instead of using glucose, you're using fundamentally fat. You're using your fat as your energy source now. Now the next natural question becomes, why doesn't our liver naturally just break down fats? Why do we have to be in ketosis to really kick that shit into overdrive? It's because of the insulin levels. When you take something in, like the example I gave earlier, a coconut shit cake or whatever the fuck it was, your glucose levels go up, but so do your insulin levels, because insulin is responsible for transporting the glucose throughout the bloodstream. When your insulin levels are high, it makes it very hard for your liver to break down fat, if at all. So when you enter ketosis and you're not digesting coconut stinky shits, your insulin levels are dropping as well, which in turn makes it so your liver can break down the fats more easily. So once again, just to wrap that all up and put a pretty bow on it, in essence, you just start using fats, your fat, as your energy source. Now you know what ketones are, why they're a good thing, now you know how to enter ketosis, but now let's talk about some of the things a lot of people make mistakes on when doing a ketogenic diet. The biggest one, and definitely for me personally, this is where I fucked up big time doing keto, is your protein intake. It has to be moderate, it can't be super high. And the reason for that is when you have so much protein and you don't have any carbs coming in, your body starts breaking down protein as its energy source, and this process is called gluconeogenesis. This is the last fucking thing you want. You'll start looking all noodle-armed and noodle-dicked because your body is literally eating away your lean muscle mass, so you have to be very careful when taking in your protein. You have to be very mindful. You keep it at a middle ground level. I can't really give you an average number because that's going to vary from person to person drastically, depending on a lot of different characteristics. Another big common mistake is eating fruits. Fruits are pretty damn high in carbs. You have to pretty much avoid fruits when on a ketogenic diet, which not a lot of people expect or really know how to adapt to, because you grow up being taught that fruits are some of your best friends, but sometimes you gotta leave your friends behind so you can chase your dreams. And in this case, that's exactly what has to happen. And the last huge mistake people make on a keto diet is not getting enough of the right fats. If you're not taking in enough fat, you're not going to be burning fat. You're just not going to really be succeeding in a keto diet. So you have to make sure that you're eating a lot of fat. And for some people, that's pretty hard because you grow up being taught that fat is the schoolyard bully, the playground bully that's just going to shove your face into the mud pies and make you fat. Which, I'd like to say right now, is 100% bullshit. Fat does not make you fat. That myth was started about 50 or 60 fucking years ago when obesity really started to become a problem because of all the sugar in the food, and people started to take notice. So then companies that used a lot of sugar in their shit-ass products started to shift the blame onto fat instead of the sugar to keep sugar looking innocent, and for some reason that still persisted where people think fat is an inherently bad thing. So to put it in Harry Potter terms, the Harry Potter universe, fat would be the Professor Snape. Everyone thinks he's bad and evil, but he's not, and he's had a pretty sad past. And that's really keto in a nutshell, what it is and how it works. I know I didn't dive too deep into exactly how every process starts, finishes, what enzymes are breaking down what, because I don't think many of you give a shit about that. I think what most people want to understand is exactly what it is and how it works. Now, depending on what research you look at, some of it's just bullshit like, keto will not only make you taller, but it'll also make your dick 10 times bigger. Do a keto diet now and buy my book so you know how to do it right. Obvious scams, don't fall for that kind of shit. But there is a myriad of other health benefits besides just fat loss. Insulin levels are reduced, and then there's other studies that say that, you know, your mental focus is improved, blood pressure is improved, a whole bunch of different shit. I highly encourage anyone out there that's curious about a keto diet or thinking of starting one to do your own research and learn how to do it the right way. But yeah, that concludes this lesson, so class is dismissed. Big thanks to Zeno for the professional as fuck animation to really take today's lesson to the next level.